we're doing here.
Okay, so the Bills end up. I don't have touchscreen on that. 26-7 over the Steelers. I feel like it was a game of two halves.
Absolutely.
We'll see what the other guys think. So who wants to start us off?
1 half in 2 minutes, I'll say, is when things were better.
Sure.
1 half in 2 minutes.
Sure. All right. Why don't you start, Rob?
No, I mean the first half minus the last 2 minutes before halftime was not the greatest of showing. I mean, picks, some fumbles. The turnovers were not great. The defense, I think, for the most part, all day showed up to an extent. I think that's the highlight for me of this game. Is just injury after injury. That's where we have to constantly look back and say, Mick D, everyone's favorite, Mickey D, is able to put together something defensively, even with injuries. He still puts together, a good plan. They always seem to do a decent job adjusting, except for, I think, really the only game I think they had a real poor showing was the Is everyone getting kind of echo of me?
Sorry, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Okay. But
I was testing something.
all right.
Just wanted to hear that again.
Yeah.
It was such a good take.
Thank you. Appreciate it. But besides the Ravens game, I think was the only game that really we all around poor showing by the defense. Offensively, last 2 minutes moving into the second half, I thought was phenomenal. I think it just took Josh Allen getting hit, our team getting fired up, and an animal coming out of Josh and everyone else. I mean, it got chippy, and I love when we get feisty like that. People want to come at us, and we're going to bite back and fight back real hard. And I like those kind of push-shoving matches, and I think we're going to always win those because we're like the more blue-collared team than most other teams. So I thought it was a good game. It was fun to watch. Like I said, maybe the first quarter wasn't so fun. It was kind of just blah. But besides that, I thought it was a good game.
Okay, Tim.
Thank you, Patrick Queen, for pissing off Josh. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all they needed
I think
was that
correct. We got pissed off Josh.
Mm-hmm. And everyone
I mean,
else.
when you look at the first 28 minutes, they were able to move the ball, but it was all self-inflicted then. Fumble, interception. But I mean, to me, the best part of the game was actually TJ Watt's quote after the game saying, I've never had a team run the same play so many damn times and have so much success.
Duo. Which is high school. Like, that's kind of the mantra you follow in high school, which is keep running it until they can stop it. You never really see that in professional sports because teams adjust. They've got athletes too. So good on the Bills for, by all means, keeping it up and saying, stop us if you can. You're not getting the love to the right person, though. Josh Allen was great, but he had a mediocre day at the very best. But
Yes.
you've got to give Joey Bosa the love. That sack was the turning point of the entire game. You could see it. You could see that sack, that fumble 6 points right there, knocking Aaron Rodgers out, blooding his face. You had your opponent on its back after that play.
Give it to Cook as well, though, because go ahead.
No, I mean that's the reality. I mean, yeah, Josh's numbers were not good, but you didn't need him to be good.
No,
and it's actually kind of nice to actually get in a situation where you're moving the ball,
yes,
without having to rely on Josh, especially when you know he's probably a little banged up from the Texans game. You have two backup tackles in there, so. I mean, what else would you want to do?
Well, Rob was leading into it. We didn't need Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really the gist of it. Well, no knock on Allen. I bow to King Allen more than anyone else, but he was mediocre. He's probably your fourth or fifth star, and that's just because Cook was so dominant.
Well, and props to those guys filling in for Spencer Brown and Dawkins as well. I mean, I was very skeptical after the first quarter with them, with the unacceptable false start penalties coming out of, I think it was Vandenberg, or was it Anderson? And I was like, oh, friggin', here we go again. I think I said in the thing, like he's picking up where Dawkins is left off for us here. But they really did a great job, I thought. And there might have been some scheme to that too with, utilization of the tight ends and stuff. But really, Josh was not pressured barely at all, I think, especially in the second
hurry,
half.
0 sacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really opposite of what we've seen over the last couple of weeks. I mean, even before the Houston game, there was some question as to, hey, is this line as good as it was last year? I think when you have as good a year as you did the year before, all you can do is go down, really. But I was very impressed with the way that those guys stepped up. And I think everybody leading into this game was going, well, you got TJ Watt over there. There's going to be some action. They're going to have to do something. Maybe people didn't think they were going to lose, but you had to think there was going to be more pressure on Josh than that. So.
Yeah, tale of two halves. Like Josh has said it himself that he wants to get hit to wake him up and get him into a game. And once he got hit once or twice, he woke up. But I mean, defense carried us. I don't take a ton of it as far as like moving forward. Like this was a solid win. They had to win this game, and they took care of business against a team with basically nothing at quarterback. Like they should have won this game, and they had to win it. And I was nervous in the most of the first half, but they got it done when they had to.
Yeah, and I think for me, does it really move the needle on the team that much for me? Not really, but if you would have lost that game, that would have been really, really bad.
Yeah.
So it just tells you that, hey, this team still has something there. And you look at how bad some of the other teams around the league had some games this weekend and over the past 2 weeks. You really look at it and say, okay, the whole league is kind of week to week. Anyone can win anytime. Anyone can lose at any time. I have no delusions of winning the division, but I think that we can still get in with some good play down the stretch and, possibly make some noise in the playoffs here.
Yeah, they're in a good spot now. We could be the Chiefs or the Ravens or the Bengals or like a lot of these other teams. Like to be 8-4, we're in good shape.
Yeah, I think they have us. That for both teams, that game was I want to say they said it was a 26% swing, no matter what, win or lose for both teams. So we moved to, I think, just above, I think it was 91% to make the playoffs with that swing. And Pittsburgh dropped down to, I want to say it's 40% because they were going to be like 61 or 62% if they would have won that game. I think for the first time, I'll say we started that game playing down like we normally do. We play down to lesser opponents. I feel like we've done a lot of that this year. We played to our opponent's level, and that was one of the first times we adjusted at that within 2 minutes of that half, and we finally were playing our game and not playing down to them and playing superior football, which was nice to see.
And I know on the surface, it probably doesn't move the needle a whole lot, but this might be a game we look back on 5, 6, 7 weeks down the road and say that was the push down the hill the Buffalo Bills needed, because we've seen in years past they go on a run. They're very capable of going on a run. I know it's a long shot. I still have a hard time believing in the New England Patriots. They seem to have usurped some of that Kansas City Chiefs luck from last season, where they just kind of lucking themselves into victories. I know they've got talent. They beat us straight up in Buffalo. I get it. I still think there was more Buffalo. But if you were to tell me, hey, Sean, I think we could still win the division, I don't know if I would sit there and bet against you.
Yeah. Well, they played the Giants with a guy who kicked the ground and missed the ball for you guys see that?
It was a fantastic video.
I mean, oh my God. And then you watch their quarterback go, mouth, oh my fucking God, or something like that. I mean, it was like, it's embarrassing. Like, is he still on the team?
Talk about high school football. That was a high school.
Did they drop him?
Team.
Like,
I don't
No,
know.
he's still there.
Young Ho.
But I mean,
Young Ho
both.
Koo.
But I mean, both Denver and New England remind you of Minnesota last year, where they won a whole bunch of close games. Didn't really look flashy, but when you look up at the record, they're like 14-3. And then what they do? Get knocked out in round one. So,
Well, they're not going to get knocked out of round one if you have the bye.
correct. But I mean, they're going to get
Round 2.
round two.
I will say
but-
this: Vrabel's in rare territory, where the last team that was the 1 seed in the AFC and lost the first game that they played.
Because I was in Cleveland watching that.
Was that
hockey
Vrabel's
tournament.
Titans? Yeah.
It's the
Oh, yeah,
Vrabel's
yeah.
Titans.
Yeah.
I'm almost rooting for it. To
You're
be
also
honest
going to
with
have a
you.
quarterback
I think
who's
there's
going
a
to be
good
going
chance.
to
I
the
mean,
playoffs for
with
the
their
first
schedule
time.
the rest of the way, I mean,
And a quarterback who's never been in the playoffs. It's a whole different game. It's a whole different feel. Playoffs are another level of game.
But I
So,
mean,
Yeah.
New England and Denver's mediocrity is probably what could keep the Chiefs out of the playoffs. Because the fact that they're going to stumble into these wins, win their divisions.
yeah.
nobody's mad at that, right? Though.
Oh,
I'm just saying. At the end of the day,
I'll take
if
Chiefs
your
out of the
choice
playoffs
was
over
have
anything.
to deal with the Chiefs in the playoffs, or go on the road and go to Denver and New England out of the gate,
Yeah.
That's what makes this season so frustrating to me. It's just that just looking at like you said, like the mediocrity of the top teams and the league as a whole. And it's like if you just won a couple of these other games that you should have won,
Like
you
which
would
ones?
be coasting. Oh, let's not go there.
Show up to Atlanta.
Don't do
show
that.
up
No,
to
show up
Atlanta
to
or
Mi-
show up
show
to
up to
Miami.
Miami.
Like, come on.
Miami,
Yeah. I
mean,
Atlanta.
Atlanta
The
was like,
Patriots game, you still could have won. Even
Yeah.
as bad as you played, you could
The
have won
Texans
that
game we
still.
could have won as
Yeah.
bad as we played.
correct.
Yeah.
The only one you'd
I
have
don't-
a shot
did they
was the
play
Miami.
that bad though?
Yeah.
In the Texans game.
Offensively, yeah.
Tell me how bad Indy played this week then against the Texans.
I'm not saying that other teams.
This
aren't
is
playing
where
bad,
I'm.
but-
Where me. Buffalo had a better showing than Indy did this week. With Indy with the number one offense and not hurt.
And Indy was at home.
My
So
point is,
the
it's
Buffalo
just not
loss
reflecting in
doesn't.
the record. We're not
Right,
going to
I
get that
think-
1 seed
I-
when it was there for the taking.
It could be,
Right.
but I think you lost your 1 seed when you lost a
To
quarter
Miami.
of your team.
Maybe,
If you want to
but
do an
that's what I'm just
like
saying
the
is that,
exercise
yeah.
for me to do is I went back and looked at the 53-man roster week 1 for the Buffalo Bills. Go back and take a look at who was on the team week 1 for your 53 and start looking at position groups that there's maybe like half of them left on your team currently right now. I think that's the Buffalo Bills team for me in the beginning of the year isn't the Buffalo Bills team that's playing currently. And for me, it's not the Buffalo Bills team, at least I would like to believe this, that
Fingers
would play
crossed.
in fingers crossed. You get guys back that are playing in the playoffs. So I think you're analyzing to analyze the team currently of what they are. I don't think you're playing without either tackle in the playoffs. I don't think you're not playing with your tight end or your number 1 wide receiver, 1 or 2, however you want to say it, with Palmer not playing.
Add Bosa to the list now. He's going to be out for a few
Bosa.
weeks.
Week to week, they're saying. I mean, it's never no guarantees. Week to week
Yeah.
typically means to me it's going to be 2 weeks.
So we're
like,
going to see Morgan Fox this week.
So
Well, it's to
I-
your point. Basically, at this point, you're just hoping,
you're
hey,
getting-
get in.
get through games,
Get in.
get through
Correct.
games,
whether you're the
stay as
7
healthy
seed,
as
whether you're the 5
possible.
seed, get in.
Stay as healthy as possible. Get into the dance. Yes, it would have been great. I think having the 1 seed for Buffalo was, hey, we get all of the playoff games at Highmark, the last year of the Bills at Highmark. It's great for that.
Now you'll have none.
You'll have none. But I look at, I'd rather take none in the current field this year. And especially with Baltimore, way they looked against Cincinnati last week. You know, I know it's a week-to-week leg, but you turn the ball over 5 times.
Oh, sure.
Lamar can't
Henry's a
outrun
shell of
current.
himself since he played
Henry's
us.
a shell.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar currently, they've showed, cannot outrun a linebacker who used to dust all those guys. He's on a hamstring, a foot, and an ankle currently right now hurt, and that's hindered that team drastically. They have a ton of injuries too. I think when you look at the landscape of the AFC, I'd rather take on the road and the teams that are going in than being home and playing a juggernaut of KC. KC actually statistically right now is having a better year than they did last year.
Yeah, because they had so many close games that they shouldn't have won.
Shouldn't have won.
all.
So they're analytically are having a better year currently right now.
Which I think is why
didn't.
everyone was so pissed last year. Like, this team is not that good.
Right.
Right.
And now they're decent, but, you know.
They're I think 1-5 now. Is it 1-6 in 1-score games?
1-5.
The
They
1-5.
were- Yeah, they were 0-5 and just won their first.
Completely, but we saw that last year. We bitched about it all last season,
Mm-hmm.
how goddamn lucky they got
Correct.
with missed field goals or blocked field goals or this penalty, and then they. So yeah, it's bearing fruit. I think we mentioned that last week. It's basically they're proving what we said last year. This team's a fluke. They fluked themselves the Super Bowl, then got their asses handed to them. But yeah, having Baltimore and Kansas City not in the playoffs, it might be worth giving up home field.
I'm not told Baltimore doesn't get in.
No, I think Baltimore gets in. My point is, I don't think you're getting
You don't get
Baltimore
at
as
peak.
at
Yeah.
peak. You're getting hurt Lamar. You're getting old Henry. You're getting a bunch of injuries that they still have on the back defensive end. I think if I don't know how many people watched the Thanksgiving game with Cincinnati, and I mean you can see for the last few weeks they put Kyle Hamilton down in the box on top of tackles. Offenses have figured out how to play that, and I don't know if they really have another answer to get him out of that. That's kind of how they're masking some of their injuries on the D line.
Right. Well, I just want to jump in for 1 second because I got to push back for the first time tonight. I'm not so sure.
First of many.
I'm not. I mean, I think we're still under the allure of what Baltimore could be and what they were. But you look at their schedule, man. They have no room for error. They've got to play Pittsburgh this week, but then they got a
They get Pittsburgh
rematch.
twice.
Right.
They
right.
get Pittsburgh
No,
twice.
Yes,
but
twice.
Somebody's got to win that division,
And Cincinnati.
and I'm putting my money on Baltimore winning that division.
But
Then
you would wish Pittsburgh.
I
would
get
it,
that,
though.
but here's Baltimore's
Yeah.
schedule.
I would wish that, but I wish a lot of things that I do not get in life.
Right. Forget the Steelers. Then they got to play in Cincinnati in a rematch. They got the Patriots. So regardless of what you think of the Patriots, Green Bay, and then they finish with the Steelers. That they have no room to lose, and they've got 3 possible losses out of the next 5.
Well,
I'm just
Steelers
saying.
suck.
I know someone's
They
got to
do.
win the division.
Right. They
But-
beat the Steelers twice. They're there.
Well-
Cincy really needs to win this week
They
in
need to win
Buffalo, and they need to win out and get luck to get in.
Yeah.
I know they're 2
Which
back
is the story of the Cincinnati
of the Cincinnati
experience over
team.
the last
And
couple of
I'll be
years.
honest with you, it's all great and dandy. They beat Baltimore. They beat Baltimore getting 5 turnovers.
Yeah,
One of which was on the 3-yard line, and they couldn't score on that. Got
that was
shut
unreal.
out.
That was unreal. I watched that.
You know,
series.
4 times. They didn't. I mean, yes, I think their team's a lot different if Higgins is in. So I know he was limited today in practice, coming out of concussion protocol. Doesn't bode well for the Bills. That's kind of saying that he might potentially come back and play with them. Obviously, if you can just double up Chase and call it a day, and you're not having to try to deal with all their wide receivers, it does hamper them. You know, injuries are there. You're not going to get Hendrickson, and by far their best showing. It was by far their best showing on defense. Not one single defensive effort. We all complain that the Buffalo Bills defense can't stop the run. Like it's just out there. You know, the team that's worse than the Buffalo Bills at stopping the run,
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Pittsburgh.
They're like the worst. But
No, they're actually better.
Cincinnati was like the worst defense in
Yeah.
the league going
Oh,
into last week.
historically,
I think they still are.
They are historically. If you actually listen to people who like Bart Scott on ESPN, and you listen to a bunch of analysts that are there, they are historically the worst defense in decade.
Which is amazing because that's been the case the last couple of years, and
Well,
it's like
That's because
they've
you paid a
hamstrung themselves
quarterback
on the offensive
and
side.
2 wide receivers, which is
Mhm.
how some people would like the Buffalo Bills to build. And I'm sorry, I do not want to have that defense
Yeah.
on the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
Like,
So can I ask a question? Why did the Bills continue to struggle and play down for so long before they? Okay.
okay,
So
for
let me
this
ask you
game,
this.
I will push back on this. I'll stop you off on this one, okay?
Another pushback, guys.
Outside of everybody that says it's
That's
a tale
2
of
for
2
you
halves,
counting at home.
I don't believe it's a tale of 2 halves. The Bills ran for 125 yards in the first half.
It was the turnovers that killed him.
Yes.
Correct.
Self-inflicted.
Situational, self-inflicted wounds. You had 125
starts
yards,
inside.
false starts at wrong times. You had different things. They moved the ball. They turned the ball over too.
We controlled the
we
clock.
controlled the clock. They had the ball for 42 minutes
Yep.
to 18. I know it's
Yeah.
like 41 and some change, but it was basically 42. Yeah.
I mean, that was
I'm-
the big
I'm gonna
difference.
push
in the two
back,
halves, no
though.
You know,
turnovers.
so-
Getting
I'm
But
gonna push back.
You can push back.
Push back kind of
push
double-
forward.
You
I
can
don't
push back all you
Inception
want.
of pushbacks.
But I'm telling you right now, if in any football game in any market and you show 125 yards of rushing in the first half, no one's telling you your offense is struggling.
But the Bills have lost games like that where they've outgained the other team and
Correct.
played like they've just made stupid mistake after stupid mistake to lose the game. And that's what it was looking like in the first half. But Josh got comfortable in the second half. And once we had Josh playing well, and of course the defense, once we got a lead too, it was like, okay, this game's over.
Yes. I will go on this and say, like, yes, if the Steelers had scored another touchdown before we took the lead, I think the game script flips. And I think a lot of week-to-week matchups are also game script dependent. The Buffalo Bills, if they can get a lead, they're very hard to play against. Our defense is built to rush the quarterback and play with a lead.
And now our guy's out.
Yes, for a couple weeks.
I still think we're built that same way, like rush the passer. Our pass defense has been really good. It's our rush defense that's the problem.
Correct.
Okay.
But I think
Which
that's
actually
by
partly
is
by
good this
design,
week.
yeah,
It's
partly
by
by
design.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have much of a running game this week.
So has everyone been impressed with Bosa's play this year
Yes.
and health to this point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I think he falls for fakes and stuff like that, and misdirections way too much. I don't think he's great versus the run. I think he's an impactful
They didn't pay him all
pass
that
rusher.
money to be a run defender, though, right?
so like
No, yeah.
Herb, your concern is the run stop, like way our defense is built. But I think
but
like
that's
you
where
look at
Greg Rousseau soars.
Rousseau and, like,
because
but
he
also
can be the
Walker.
quarterback.
Walker is like, I think that was one of our best pickups this year of getting him in there, and he is a stud. Like
Yeah.
I think he's a big boy who can move.
But
And I agree. I mean, I'd rather be good against the pass than the run. Don't get me wrong. If you have to choose a weakness, I'd rather it be like I'd rather have Joey Bosa saying, "Okay, I'm going to look for the big play and look for the sack," but he falls for misdirection a little too much. But he's been solid. I'm not saying.
Did
he's
you
been
think
bad.
he would be as impactful as he's been?
I was hoping. So.
Yeah,
Right.
if he
but,
stayed healthy? Yeah.
But does it also make him look better because of who's been hurt and who hasn't been playing as often? At Alver, Rousseau hasn't done a whole lot.
Well, I think he's probably been your best end over the past
Rousseau,
2 years.
if you look analytically, has had a decent season.
Not sack totals.
Correct. Not sack totals, but overall pressures, he's one of the top ones. He's actually beating Bosa in overall pressures. As far as run stuffing and things that they're asking him to do,
There's really
he's having
stats
the
on this.
same.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
There's time to quarterback. He is still up at the top.
I'll give him full credit, and that's why Bosa looks as good as he is because you've got you can't just have one side typically doing all
Sure.
the work. If you don't have another strong side,
Right.
you're going to have double teams put on Bosa, and if it wasn't for us being so strong on the other side, that we wouldn't be as good as we are.
That was like how Lorenzo Alexander had that statistical freak year because Jerry Hughes was on the other side.
you know.
You know, I think you got to look at what they're actually asking him to do. That's like sitting there saying everybody, well, Epinesa doesn't get any sacks, and Epinesa's in there to stop the run. When Epinesa's on the field, he's basically in there to set the edge, stop the run.
in block passes.
In
with
block
long
passes
arms.
with the long arms, he stops. Like you can see him. He goes in 2 yards, stops, and he's basically waiting for a screen or something else to come. He's not on a full just go run at the passer. And that was Von Miller last year. They asked him to just rush the passer straight up and go. He wasn't doing anything. Bosa might get beat from time to time, but he at least is out there and is a viable option that you're not going to just 100% of the time run around him.
He's a threat.
Right.
I mean, he's a name. He's a threat. He is living up to the name, even though he has several years in the league. He doesn't look like he's slowing down. 53-man roster. If you can have an impact like where you can turn the tide, like I mentioned earlier, I mean that's a huge victory for the Buffalo Bills.
I mean, if you look at the Buffalo Bills defensive line, outside of obviously taking away run stopping, and I think some of that, they play better without Bernard in against the run. I think they're better with Bernard in. I'm not sitting there saying that, I'm not trying to discourage him, and he's played hurt for a vast majority of this season. He's sucked it up and played hurt to his own detriment. They're definitely better, a lot of them. Like Milano had a better game. I think he gets to play a little bit better when you have Shaq Thompson in there. Just the same way as, I don't think, Jordan Poyer on the back end, physically, if Taylor Rapp was back there, I think Taylor Rapp has better physical traits currently than what Jordan Poyer has. But what Jordan Poyer has offered for Cole Bishop is stability back there. And you've seen Bishop step up and turn into that player like, holy crap, we were all going to run him out of Dodge for the first month of this year, to where he's played really well back there and he's an actual weapon for this team. Like they've turned the corner. Bernard or Benford, whether he was playing through an injury or whatever, if you look at his stats over the last 4 to 5 weeks, he's playing a lot better. He's playing at, what he was when they gave him the contract. So there are a lot of differences. I know we've had a lot of injuries, and I think holistically the defense, still is way down, but I think a lot of that was the first month they were just getting shelled to where it's going to take them a while to try to get out of that hole.
I was listening to one Bills live earlier this week, and I know it's massively a Homer's like radio station, and I do enjoy listening to them, and they have some good guests on. But the one thing I took away defensively and offensively that we do better, that they kind of pointed out, is we have a lot of older players who might not be as physically gifted, but what they preach and what they do a really good job with is, with these older players, is they all are technically sound. And a technically sound player can beat out or be just as good as the most physically gifted player without the technical abilities. And I think that goes back to like the elephant in the room that hasn't been talked about, is like the Keon Coleman, where he's got all the physical traits in the world, but he just doesn't have the technical abilities. It was nice to see him out there. He was impactful this week. I don't think it was like a massive impact. I'm happy to see him doing something. I think from what it sounded like when they brought his name up in the interviews, as everyone said, he's on the right path again. I just hope, and I'm sure you guys all can agree to that it's not, I feel like we've heard this too many times already now between last year and this year, of he's on the right path and he falls off. And it's like, hopefully he knows, and maybe his agent, maybe the people around him are like, you're on your 4th strike and you should have been done at strike 3. So, thank your lucky stars, and you need to keep working and pushing forward. So he has a really good opportunity with a lot of people down right now. So hopefully he can be that impactful.
No doubt that. Oh, sorry, Brennan, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it makes you wonder if they didn't have the injuries they had, if he'd be sitting down another game.
I think he would.
I think that was a message sent, though. I think, sitting one game is big. We've seen other teams only sit guys out for a quarter or a half. They set them down 1. They set them down 2.
Yeah, 2.
That is, and that's the name of the game. It's, you've invested a lot into this guy. But you want to teach him how to be a pro, and he's still a young guy. And I think this could be a step in the right direction. Look at the positive. You sat out. You didn't huff. You didn't puff. You didn't make waves. You contributed once you got back in. Keep it going.
Yeah.
So I think that was also the second game, though. I'm not so sure he sits out the second game if it's not on Thursday night.
Shorter week, and the fact
It's a
that
short week. The Bills have in the past basically talked about how the week prior to a Thursday night game, they'll put in packages for the second. Like it's almost like a double week that week. So you are spending some more time. You know, you're preparing for the team that you're playing that week, which was Tampa, but they were also putting in some install stuff for Houston. I think that was the juxt of why it was as big as it was on Friday for him to miss that game, because what it really said was he was missing 2 games.
Yeah, but I think if Palmer comes back this week, Keon's down again.
I mean, it could be a potential in that sense. We talked about most teams do the 1 quarter or half a game. He already did the 1 quarter once this season, did the 2 games. I think the package was installed, but he still should have been at all the meetings and still should have been going through the reps. He was a healthy scratch, so that should have been what was happening. I do agree with you in the sense that if Palmer's back, he could sit, but I think that also comes down to, again, and it's very McDermott, is there's no guaranteed spot on this team except for Josh Allen, but it's because Josh has earned it, and like we all know, he's the best there. But if you're the best player, you're getting played, and I think that speaks to where he's at, is he's not the best player.
I just think he's below Gabe on the depth chart, and he's below
Brandon Cooks.
He's probably below Cooks, although they're different roles. But
I don't. If you look at snap counts,
yeah,
I know it's Cook's first game, but if you're asking me, I think he plays over Cooks.
He's our 3rd big receiver too, is what I'm trying.
I think Cook's got more ability of what he's proven he can do, where I think he hasn't. Keon Coleman has not proven he can do what we brought him on to do. And he's not proven that he can be, he's taken so many snaps, and despite that, he's still not.
What role is he supposed to play in your mind?
Well, as a receiver, he's supposed to be the throw the ball up and grab it kind of guy. Is fight for the ball. But he even
Mr.
with separation, I don't feel like Josh Allen has faith in throwing that ball to him because of the way he is.
I would say Shavers is past him on the depth chart too. That's the other one.
But I think Shavers passed him because Shavers plays a key role in special teams. And I think that's where Keon kind of runs into this issue on the depth chart, is he doesn't play special teams.
Well,
so if he played special teams or contributed on special teams, he's probably up over Shavers. But the reality is he doesn't.
Would you rather have Cooks or Keon lining up as a receiver?
Because Cooks doesn't play special teams.
Sure, but I'm just saying receiver-wise,
yeah,
straight up. Would you rather have?
I think they're different. I think right now, to be honest with you, the receiver room to me and the offense has got to change, and I don't think we've seen that change yet. I think that's the most interesting thing for me to see this week is, yes, you didn't get a chance to see it in Pittsburgh. You had both tackles out. You're going against, after getting Josh shelled against the best defensive line in football the week prior.
It was windy.
Houston. It was windy. Yeah. I will give you, it was windy. They clearly ran the ball and were going to run the ball. I think this week they'll probably run the ball against the worst rushing defense again, control the game, and your best defense against Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow sitting on a bench while you run 9 yards at a crack.
And we haven't talked about, I don't know what the opposite is when you say about I forgot the phrase, but the Buffalo Bills clearly dialed into ZaBills last week because we harped on them, we pled with them, we begged them, adjust and give Josh some support in the line. And I don't know if they would term it jumbo package, but they brought in a line that not only could protect Josh, and I'm talking more linemen. I'm not talking about the guys who filled.
They brought in wide receivers that were doing it as well.
Yes,
so much so that if you were watching the game, and I think people missed it, Josh's call-outs is usually to say, "Hey, that's the Mike linebacker over there."
Yeah,
it wasn't to call out the Mike linebacker. It was Shavers. You're blocking that guy over there.
Yeah.
to where Pittsburgh knew they were running the ball, knew which guy Shavers was going to block, and still ran duo 29 times.
Yeah. So I think they found a formula, that teams haven't seen. I mean, they'll see it watching the film today, but you bring in that support that's not only going to help Josh stay off his back, but it's also going to help the run game as well.
Yep.
Did you guys, and I know I really focus in on the interviews. I do like the interviews. I think sometimes they're just, they're blowing smoke, and it's the classic, Josh puts up like really good answers, and he's really good. He's Mr. Hollywood in that sense. But Cook had my favorite interview I've seen him do so far, where he was very honest, and they talked about him getting out to the edge, and he's like, were you trying? Was that what you're scheming for? And he's like, I watched film. I knew what I had to do. And like, he knew if he got to the edge, he could beat all those guys because he was faster. And if he's faster to the edge, and once he got out there, he could cut up. And I think that's the biggest thing, and that's where you got to look at like the running back room. Maybe is that what you want to call it?
It's Eric. It's Cromer.
Yeah, I mean, did a great job. They pointed out Cooks is smart. I'll say it week after week, the man is earning every penny he's made, and we got a steal on him. And I was at the beginning of the season, and I was like, screw this guy for wanting this much money. We made the deal of a lifetime on him, and we've done a great job with him. And to all his credit, he's done an amazing job selling himself and working really, really hard. And that was Josh's takeaway today, is he still thinks he's the best back in the end. And, again, that's Mr. Hollywood, but I have some agreement. Like, he plays to every end of every play he talked about. He goes, that ball's moving down the field. He's moving down the field with it. He's not just like stopping. He's going to keep pushing and keep blocking if he's blocking down the field, or if he's doing something else. So it's important, like, you look at his full effort, and that's where I want those kind of things to rub off on Keon Coleman.
And I like that they're starting to use him in the pass game a little bit.
Absolutely. I was just about to say
It's much
that.
needed.
Yep.
Used all of them. Yeah. So circling back, because I never really got to my wide receiver point.
Sean pushed back.
Only for this point.
I'm going to call it a pushback.
You got rid of Elijah Moore. Curtis Samuel's currently on IR. Who fills that role?
What, to do jet sweeps that don't work?
Yep. Who's stretching that? Right. It obviously didn't work this year, right? Take it out of the book. But you have to do something different.
Yeah.
Like, that was an area of your offense that you had there that is no longer there. Like, that area is gone. So I think what we've seen in the wide receiver room, whether it's the jet sweep that didn't work, or they would do a lot of crossers with Curtis Samuel when he was actually healthy, the 1 or 2 games this season that he was, that area is gone. I think you're going to – I don't see how they run the same offense scheme-wise with the current personnel that they have when they're all actually there. I don't see somebody stepping into that role. I think that's why you went out and got Cooks. I think that's why Gabe Davis is on the 53-man roster. You might see Coleman a little bit more in bigger packages. They might do they're going to have to do something different. What they did before didn't work. Obviously didn't work. And my last point, everybody eats only when everybody's actually on the field, is clearly what I've taken out of the season. When not all of their pieces are there, no one's eating.
So do you think
with our current system?
That's true. And so do you think, so we can agree that scheme or whatever they were trying to do with those guys wasn't working, and the fact that they're now gone / on IR, does it make them a better offense, addition by subtraction, of trying to do these little things with these guys we think are speed guys, and now we're like, hey, let's just get back to,
I think,
throwing the ball down the field and hitting guys that can actually catch the ball more than -3 yards,
and go.
Yeah.
So if you look at our offense last year in 2024, that speed guy on the side, Curtis Samuel role, or, when he was healthy, that was actually the successful part of our passing game last year. I think over the offseason, people watch tape, they figure out the Bills, and that's what they took away from the Bills. right? Halfway through the season, Bills watch tape. They changed what they're going to do. I haven't seen it yet. Obviously, we didn't see it. Josh threw for what? Like
123.
Yeah.
I just looked up.
like
Yeah.
a $123, and everything was either a slant. Nothing went over 10 yards. It was either a screen. It was small stuff that he hit, and that's by design because you're two backup
Well, I
tackles.
thought you were going to run.
I mean,
too.
your right tackle, his 2 false starts in his interview was, I'm going against TJ Watt,
saw
and
that,
I
yeah.
played center, guard, and I haven't played tackle since I've been in college. He only had 2 of them. I'll be honest with you. I know he's pro, but kudos to you. I know they were in bad times for us, like in the game in that first half where he took them. They really hurt us, but he had 2. It's understandable you're going against.
Those are those bad times, though, in his mind, where he's like, if I gotta get this extra little inch on this guy
And
because
that's what
this
he
is
said.
so
I'm
important.
trying
this
to
time.
time
Yeah.
up. I'm trying to time up the snap count, and I'm especially trying to do it on a time where I know I'm left. I mean, they left him at times 1-on-1 with TJ Watt, and he didn't go right around him.
Right.
There were plays where he was left 1-on-1 with TJ Watt. They chipped him a lot, especially in the second half, and basically they just ran the ball.
That's where he did well, though. Is he's and they talked to him. They talked about him a lot with those technical skills, where Watt is a physically gifted superhuman. I mean, he's not what he used to be. Don't get me wrong, with him aging and stuff and getting older, but at the same time too, he's still physically gifted.
I mean, if you look at what his statistics are this season,
Yeah,
it's
he's
kind of
not.
hard
He's
not
not
to say.
slouching. Yeah.
He is not
No.
slouching.
It's funny they brought it up. What does he have? Five sacks, which for him is not as good as what he's done in the past. But still,
He's
anyone
got
would
5 sacks, and you watch every single one of his sacks. He's getting chipped,
yeah.
blocked, and still gets the sack.
Sure. What I'm trying to get at is any one of us would say we'd love a 5-sack guy, but people look at him this year and they're like, oh, he's not what he is because he doesn't have 7 or he's not already at double digits or something silly like that.
I think
but
he's
still
struggling
a
because
player.
the guy that fell off is Cam Hayward.
Yeah. Which, how about that whole situation with Josh?
Knees him in the stomach.
Which there's no video
no
evidence
video
of
of it.
anywhere.
Josh called for the
just
video
so
to be
we-
brought out. Said
Yeah.
release the tapes, which
Yeah.
is hilarious. It's like that's like the
We've
funniest
We've
thing
seen,
ever.
we've
to say.
seen
Did he say that?
multiple
That's great.
spitting incidents where you can see saliva in this year, and also a guy getting punched in the dick. But we don't see a knee to the stomach.
Yeah.
Nope, they brought it up
And you would know exactly what play it's on because he freaks
Yeah,
out
he freaked out. Yeah.
and it's not there.
Nope.
So either he's getting soft or just made the whole thing up. So probably both.
it's football. Like quit being a bitch. Like he's you need me in the stomach. Like I want to see this. Like he makes it out like he did like Street Fighter, like jump knee into his
yeah.
gut,
Oh, yeah.
like as if he was standing there. No, supposedly he was laying on top of him, and he probably like lifted his knee. Was like, get
Well,
off. Of
it's
me.
not supposedly, because when he was saying what he was doing, he goes, I was on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he need me in the stomach.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how
and
he
said that's
described
how
it.
I was going to get
So-
you off of me or whatever. But
No, Josh said that, but
That's what he said
Hayward
Josh
actually
He said Josh
no,
said that. Yeah.
He
no,
said
but
she
he
said.
even said Hayward even said when he was doing it, he goes, I was on him and he needs me in the stomach, and there's protections for a quarterback for me.
Yeah.
Right.
And I
Like-
get that argument.
Like you're on him.
Yeah.
Like that's in your thing.
Yeah.
And you've
Yeah.
punched 2 other quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It just if you're a Steelers fan, you're wincing at that because you got your ass handed to you. You're on the defense side of the ball, and you got tuned up to record numbers that the Steel Curtain really hasn't seen in their iteration as a professional football team. And you're
they said
complaining
50 years. I don't think
yeah.
they've gotten run on
50
like that.
years.
Can we play Renegade so we can all do it?
I mean, that just it sounded worse than sour grapes. It sounded worse than, I just where's your pom pom? I mean, come on now. I really that's your
Yeah.
biggest complaint.
You're a big ass defensive guy.
You're
and-
massive.
Yeah.
And
you're-
which, by the way, not to sound like a Bills homer, Josh Allen's not the guy to like get in his face and like talk shit to.
Oh.
He's not backing down to anybody.
No.
Oh, you mean get off of it? You mean Josh Allen's talking shit to everybody?
That's what I
yeah.
mean.
Every single week.
But he's
In
not-
his face, he's gonna
Yeah.
laugh at
But
you.
he's gonna laugh at
He's
you.
not
and
gonna be
he's
scared of
He's
you.
gonna go so
I mean-
much harder.
I mean, he
Yeah.
laughed for 9 yards going in.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
Psycho Josh.
Yeah. Like he's not the one
No,
to
he's
like get
not
in
the
his
guy.
face and like think you're gonna intimidate him.
Right.
Like
He
you
had a
know.
great comment. I mean, today he completely pulled the Bill Belichick when they asked him about it again today, and he's like, "We're on to next week. Like, we're not doing this." Like,
All due
Oh, he
respect.
could have even gone around to Cincinnati.
yeah,
We're on to Cincinnati.
yeah, we're on to Cincinnati. He completely shut it down, which was fantastic. Like, it's got us like. It's such silliness, and it's like you look back at the heydays where they talked about you were in a pile and there used to be biting,
yeah.
people would be
Checking
punching each
oil.
other, and
Like, grabbing people,
junk and shit, and it was a whole different game, and now it's like
poking people in the eye.
he need me in the tum tum, like
Yeah,
oh
man of the year.
Tummy
over
sticks
here.
down there.
yeah.
Tummy sticks.
Do you think the current state of the Bills' offense, if it were to remain the same, is sustainable with only a running game?
I think they have a passing game.
You do, okay.
Yeah, I mean it's there. I mean,
They have one. They're not dead last.
I
in
think a-
passing. I don't think
an
it's what it
improved running
was.
game only helps the passing game.
And
And
they're
vice versa. I
they're
think the threat
number
of Josh
one.
Allen is a big reason why our run game is so good.
Yeah, but
Even though he hasn't put up the best passing numbers of his career or anything like that, but the threat of him is a huge reason why our run game is so good.
But you talk about sustainable. There is no offensive team that I can think of that's ever went to and ran through the playoffs and went to the Super Bowl that's been just a run team.
Baltimore.
No, they still had a pass game.
They had, are you talking
I'm
about
gonna
like
push
last
back.
year?
I'm
No,
gonna
I'm
push back
talking
on that
about
one.
Ray Lewis.
Oh, okay.
well, we were talking defense.
Because I was going to say
so
Zay
we're
Flowers.
not talking
Right, but they're a
offense.
defense that had a run game that was a number one. You know what I mean? Like if you have it on the other side of the ball, I will ask this question: did we have a pass game against Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Yes.
They threw the ball all over.
Mm-hmm.
He had over 300 yards. So to sit there and say like there is no pass game when they
Right.
2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, they had a pass game, chucked it all over. Yes, obviously we did not have a pass game against the Houston Texans. Neither did Indy, even though they've had one the entire season. Like it depends on who you play. Like Houston has a generational defense. And I think it's recency bias of what you're doing. And then this week we just chose to run the ball right down their throats.
Yeah,
Just
I don't
different
wanna
than we
read-
did with Carolina. They ran the ball right down Carolina's throat. Why would you pass it? That's what they did
Yeah.
Dallas
If it's
the year
working,
before. Why would you change it?
I don't think this game suddenly defines who we are as a team. Like this Bengals game is going to be the complete opposite of what the Steelers game was.
How so?
Well, I don't think we're going to be able to just run it. We'll probably be able to run a lot.
But didn't they say statistically they're a worse rush defense than ours?
They're the worst rush defense in the NFL.
But they're
I
a
think-
much better offense.
I think we're going to
Sure.
have to score a lot of
Right.
points,
But
and the
you're
Bills
not
are
a
going to
good
be
offense when you're on
the Bills are going to be under the gun to score a lot of
Yeah,
points.
We need to get out early in
It's
this
not
game,
stay out
which
there.
has been some of the games we've struggled at winning. We didn't get
Yeah,
out early.
right. We
We
gotta
do need to
score.
score early. on
Don't
this.
do stupid things in the beginning.
What if they?
and get
What if?
down
What if the
14.
Bills lose?
They have a 80% chance of still making the playoffs.
This week is a tight end week. The Bengals, on top of being a terrible run
Are you going
defense,
to Dick's looking at some tight ends?
they're an all-time like
Come
the
on,
all-time
push back
worst
on
tight
that.
end defense of all time. If we get Kincaid back, hopefully
Oh, what did I hear about him though? Is he going to be out even longer now?
If they are,
he's
then
got
they're going to have to cut
more issues other than hamstring
Yeah.
that were listed on the injury report. We don't know if that means
They
he did
put
still
his knee
limited
back
practice
on, but
today
he's
though.
had a knee the entire year.
Yeah,
Oh, they were talking about
he's fine.
Travis Kelce since 2014 has missed 4 total games, and Kincaid has missed 4 this year alone.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
People's
I
knees
know.
are different. I don't know.
Fuck
I
'em.
mean,
Yeah,
I also think that the
I think they're
Bills
just talking
are
about how the
more
Bills
cautious than
are
anybody else.
injury. Have you remembered a season quite like this where guys are just out all the time?
Yeah, last season.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I was gonna say the last couple of years.
Season before that,
The
and the
last
season
couple of
before
years
that.
have been like this for sure.
God.
Well, my problem is they're adding more games too. Like, it's going to get to the point is where the
I don't think
schedule,
they can add any more games than this.
I think they're seriously considering it.
Seriously?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous.
I know.
No more preseason games? It'll all
They're
be regular
saying
season?
like one preseason game,
Yeah.
And add how many more regular season? 2?
2 regular season
one
games?
one more regular
more.
and only one preseason.
So you lose a preseason game. And
What
No,
you
2.
do is you
You lose
put
2.
everybody on an international game.
Yeah, and exactly. Everyone
That's-
goes
I think
international.
that's basically what it is.
And that's
Instead
what
of
they
doing
wanted to do.
international every other year, you're on an international game every year.
I had heard rumors that the one preseason game
Watering the
too
shit down.
could actually be like at a neutral
And-
site as well.
and
2
a double-
buys?
2 buys.
Oh, well.
I've heard 2 buys too.
Sean, that'll help
Yeah,
you
and
out with
then-
your
and then
injuries.
we'll be number 3.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
Kind of like
Every
these-
year that we're number 2, there was no
No,
second
I'm not
place
talking.
bye.
No, I'm not talking regular season 2 buys.
Oh, I
Not-
thought we were. I thought we were
not
talking
two in
about.
the-
I thought you were talking about the
No,
playoffs.
not in the playoffs. Regular season 2 buys.
yeah.
Because ever since we went to 1 bye, we've been number 2.
They want to get the Super Bowl to President's Day weekend. Like they're looking
Yeah.
to extend the season
Holiday.
one more week to make that like
We've
Mardi
been
Gras
talking about that for
NFL.
years. They should put it on a holiday weekend and not on a Sunday.
Probably going to happen. It's probably going to happen. And that's one way of doing it. My problem is this league. It's now going to be about your depth, maybe more than your all-star talent. Like I don't know. We've seen it this year. We saw it last year. We've seen it in years past. This is not the 1990s Buffalo Bills where Andre Reed, Steve Tasker, Jim Kelly, Bruce Smith play 17 straight games.
It's coming. Every team's dealing with it. I mean, you're seeing
it's
way
not
more.
just Buffalo.
Yeah, no, it really
mean,
is.
we shed a tear
Detroit.
for San
I mean,
Francisco.
San
Sorry,
Francisco,
Rob, but
Detroit is taking it on the chin right now.
right. Again, Detroit had how many injuries last year just on offense alone?
Right.
There you go, Nick.
I think you're also seeing players don't play through injuries like they did before as well.
No.
And
A little soft.
I don't know if it's soft, but I also think some players are like realizing longevity is
Their
more important.
career's
Of,
at
yeah, I
stake.
want my career, and you got
Or
you got-
life after football.
That's the other side of it too.
Well,
You
I
think
think
Cleveland's
I'm
going to
push back.
Baker
I'm going to push
Mayfield?
back.
oh boy,
I think it's the teams. The teams are more worried about load management. It's like I
I'll
don't know
give
if
you
you
load
guys follow
management.
baseball, like the Dodgers. The Dodgers are
This is
constantly
a football
Yeah,
podcast.
it's an analogy. Dodgers are constantly cycling pitchers in and out of their injured list, and that's kind of how football is now with guys. You know Bosa. They're not going to push Bosa like a few years
They
back.
better not.
You
They
might,
need him in the playoffs.
You might push
They
Bosa to
have.
play through a hamstring injury, but now they're just like, all right, you're done. You're week to week. He's going to be out 2 weeks at least, if not more.
do you think it's because of the money we're paying these players compared to 30 years ago?
I think for the Bills, it's because of the team that they actually have, like the chance of winning a Super Bowl. I think if
Yeah.
you're having to play your guys just to get to the playoffs, those guys are playing. The Bills are just get to the dance, and we'll get there. And
They're looking
I
at the
use
big
this
picture.
as
The
Josh
dance is
Allen.
playoffs or
Josh
Super Bowl?
No, Josh Allen does not run. They've specifically, Bean and McDermott in everything offseason have talked about how they don't want him to take hits at the beginning of the season, like save yourself, whatever, and then it becomes go time, and he goes, which is usually December.
Yeah, look at the first half
No,
of
I'm
last
say, you know what I mean?
Last,
Like,
this
it's-
last game, he had some more. It seemed like
He
had, some
had
more
a ton.
designed
I know
runs.
you said it was an off game for Josh. I think it was one of he
No, I
played.
thought he turned
like,
up in the second half.
He had some bad passes. I'll say
Yeah.
that. But
He did, but the touchdown to Coleman was absolutely insane.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he totally made a play that no one thought he was going to make because if anybody saw it, Knox is doing like jumping jacks on the side because he's so open, but the guy's blitzed in that lane.
Don't
so
throw it to Stone Hands.
He didn't throw it to Stonehands, and no one stopped to even see Keon Coleman coming across for where he threaded
That's
the
'cause they
needle
said,
after
"Oh,
And
the
then when
side.
Josh came up to it, kind
Right.
of pulled them down.
Pulled them down and chucked perfectly where he needed to do. I mean, that the IQ on that is insane to do along while you're, got a 270-pound guy trying to tackle you.
I want to say I think Josh's accuracy has been off at times this year.
Sure.
But that game, especially that second half, I really liked his accuracy. Like he was leading guys upfield on those short passes even. Like it was just right on there, right where they needed to be. Once he took that hit from 6, and he was locked in. So we need him. We need him to do that against the Bengals.
I'm going to throw some shade at the Steelers. They suck.
They do.
They
suck.
are a bad team. And Aaron Rodgers should fucking retire yesterday.
I will give them one credit. They can tackle. I'll say that. Their corners can tackle. They had some excellent plays. Even though Cook broke it out to the secondary.
No yak.
There was plenty of open field tackling.
On the
that
side
they
with the
did.
cornerbacks, their
Yes.
linebackers sucked during the game
Yes.
because everything in the middle he was breaking.
But he was getting to the corners and getting tackled.
Yeah.
Pretty much. He wasn't beating them, which us were just
Oh, I thought
bouncing
we had
off of
we had a
guys.
better game this
Not maybe this game,
How
but-
many missed tackles they have against Pittsburgh?
Well, Pittsburgh, whatever, they suck, but
4.
yeah.
The Bills only had 4.
They only had 4
I mean,
missed tackles.
Is that
below
the
average.
fewest of this year?
That's
Milano
by
was
far
wrapping people
the
up
fewest.
real well. We had a really good
By
tackling
far.
game. I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
By far our best game tackling.
I know this is a Bills podcast, but real quick, this was in my head. Did you guys see the hit on Dart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he got fucking crushed.
That's on him.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Yeah. Okay.
And he even said it too. Did you see his interview about that?
I don't watch interviews. Rob does it for me.
He basically said, and no offense to anybody here, he said, we're not out here playing soccer. Like, I know I'm going to get hit. So, I know there's a bunch of soccer fans, fans in
I
here,
think it's
but
awesome because that just reminds me of like high school.
Oh,
How
yeah.
much,
Those
like,
commie bastards.
yeah, soccer people running around,
Yeah.
take a hit.
that's not what my coaches would call him. But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And one more thing about Pittsburgh.
What?
You got to give props to Aaron Rodgers for playing
Fuck
with a
him.
fractured left hand. And it does look like we were laughing at the start of the season.
Yep.
But Russell Wilson didn't dress. Fields has been a train wreck in New York. It ironically, if you had to pick those 3, it
Isn't
looks
Russell
like
Wilson still a Giant?
he didn't dress.
Yeah, he's
First
Or is he a
time,
Pittsburgh Steeler?
he's a giant.
Giant.
Yeah, okay. That's
but
what
for
I
the
thought.
first time in his career, he didn't dress this week.
First healthy scratch.
They
Yeah.
wanted famous Jameis in there, man.
So it looked like
Entertainment, baby.
By far. I'm putting a petition that somebody James got to be on somebody's team for a solid like 4 or 5
or
more.
a broadcasting team.
Yeah,
because
no, he
he's
needs to be
amazing.
in the game. He's unbelievable. Just chucks a rock wherever he
Oh
wants.
yeah, he makes magic and also sucks at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah, like throw Jameis on the Steelers and get Tomlin out of there. Like that they'd be actually interesting. Like,
Who's-
come on, they're
who's
so
the-
boring.
Who's the bits?
It's been the last 15 years. This is like how long? Like since before Ben retired, this is the same Steelers team.
They keep making the playoffs though.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you
they're
can't-
always like
And that's kind
they
of what they're
win
hanging
eight,
their hat on.
They
to
have
been
10
under 500.
games, and they're just not. they're gonna
21
lose.
21 consecutive years of winning records.
But they haven't won a playoff game since 2016.
Historic team. Yeah, I mean, 21 years of winning record. Historic team of not changing coaches. They historically do not change coaches, even with ownership changing 3 times.
3 in 50 years.
Yeah, 3 in 50 years. It's wild. And at the same time, too, like a winning record. I mean,
Is that success?
I
Does
hate
Pittsburgh
it.
think that's successful?
it
Their
kills
fans, no.
you. The fans
Ownership,
definitely not.
yes.
They booed Renegade. That's
No,
how
I
much
heard.
they think that.
I hate
it's
that song.
successful.
I mean,
good.
it reminds me of what's his face, the old owner of the Sabres when he was like, "We got to break even."
I'm
Here?
gonna mute Sean's
Yeah.
mic here in a second.
Golisano?
Yeah, Golisano, where he said, "I'm here to make the playoffs. If I make the playoffs, I'm making money, and if I don't, my goal is to break even, and I don't care about anything else." And it sounds like that's the way Pittsburgh is kind of running their thing of like, I'll just
So
keep
it's the
going to the
same
playoffs.
ownership as the Pirates, or what?
Who's the backup for Aaron? Is it Justin Fields?
No.
Mason Rudolph.
Mason
Yeah,
Rudolph.
Rudolph.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
then
right. He
Rudolph
came
was in
in. He
there.
sucked
So
too.
I think
He was
you
awful.
get into this is
He
I
had
think
one hell
they're
of a
stuck
stash,
in
though.
mediocrity.
Yeah, he was Freddie Mercury.
They make the playoffs, which means they don't get a generation. Basically, the first round of
You're not
any
drafting
year, you're
low
not
enough.
drafting anybody good. So you're trying to hit on somebody that like isn't there. Your success rates maybe like what 1 and 2 if you're really good at it. You know, it probably less than that if you analytically look at it. Of when you're not drafting out of those like top 10 people that are. I mean, even look at like
That's what happened with the Bills for all those years.
Yeah,
7,
I was
9,
gonna
9,
say-
7-9,
8,
like
9,
our
7,
drought. You
like,
never got up high enough to
yeah, you're
get
like, oh, I'm drafting
anybody
13th.
good.
They're
Like,
the
okay.
they're the bizarro
And you
drought
ate-
team. Like they
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
the playoffs every year,
Yeah.
but
Even-
every year they're like 9-7 and 10-6, or now 10-7, 9
And we
8.
really
like,
got lucky for Josh because they got up to 7 that year,
Mhm.
and they had to sell out a whole bunch of draft picks to get up to 7 to get Josh. So luckily, Mayfield, Darnold went off the board. They took other players before, so like they kind of got lucky even to get up that high. Bean had when he talked about Chase, like the comment when he said, "I don't want to suck that bad to get a player like that." But that's my crux of everybody says I want a number 1 wide receiver in Buffalo. I'm like, okay, what are you going to do? You either need to go 3-15 in a season and go draft them.
don't make me push back on this because I
I'll
will.
push back right now. You had one.
Yeah, you had one, and
Diggs
Yeah.
for a
give me
while.
give me the
But
5
if-
best
as much
receivers in
as
the
he
NFL
started
right
out
now.
with the Patriots, have you looked at his statistics lately? He's fading the same way that he did the last few years.
I saw him score a
Buffalo.
touchdown.
Let's go back
Right,
to
you
the
saw
Diggs
one.
thing, and I'll push back on a little bit with Diggs. Is remember we gave up a first round for Diggs, which I think was we basically
Jefferson.
used a first round draft.
Oh,
pick
I'd like to have the
Two-
Bills go after him this
Which is
offseason.
fine,
to
though,
have Diggs,
because
which we knew
You
what
would
we
have
were
had
getting.
it at the end of the first round.
Exactly. So I think
whatever.
it was the right move. The other thing, someone just posed this question to me, and they're like, "Josh would have been who he was without Diggs," and I say no.
No.
I think
No.
Diggs was. You
But
needed a good
you-
receiver to make him a better player.
You could afford Diggs back then. You
Yeah.
can't afford Diggs currently now.
You do know who they like. I'm not stating the obvious here. You know who they drafted with that Bills draft pick, right?
Yeah, but who
Jefferson.
Did, yeah, but
Okay, I just want to make sure.
right. I
What's the
know-
point of the
I know-
obvious there?
I know that, but that's not a
We
slam
wouldn't
dunk because who got taken before
Correct.
Jefferson?
Correct.
Jalen Rieger,
Right.
By who?
Right.
Philly.
Oh, I thought that was the best GM ever, and he never misses on
Right.
anything known to man.
And that's fair. And you're
Ouch.
right.
Joe
You're-
does listen.
You're playing the draft. It's really it's a pick 'em. It's a coin toss. You know, we won with Josh Allen. We could have very lost with
And that's
Elam.
not blasted at anybody here. I'm sorry, but that was a blast across the. I'm sick of hearing the Philly is by far blast. They never miss anything. It's the same thing with KC.
I've never
Tell
seen
me
that.
about Sky Moore and tell me about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, what they're currently doing with their first round picks within the last 5 years.
Oh, he
Like,
came in the other game, didn't he, on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, off the practice squad. He's on their practice squad.
All right, I'm going to give you some top receivers in the NFL.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Right now, if you brought in a true number 1, would it change anything
Yes.
for this passing
Oh,
offense?
sure.
100%.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Really?
100%. Yeah.
I would
And-
love to see it.
My argument is
happening at this point.
my argument is spend assets on receiver. It doesn't have to be your top asset. You don't have to give up 2 first-round picks.
Assets.
All right, assets.
Yes.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, late first-round pick. George Pickens
Not
was a
late
second.
first round pick.
He was about 20.
20
He was
second.
20. Right. We
George-
took Kincaid
All
because
right.
we couldn't get up there.
George Pickens, second
I would
round
take
or
him.
second round pick,
That's
right?
the year that we took Kincaid and moved up to get Kincaid
Puka
because they couldn't
Nakua,
get JSN.
5th round pick.
All right, that's a
Amon
one-
Ross St. Brown, 4th round pick. Jamar Chase, top 5 pick.
your guy basically from San Diego scored that you're calling for instead.
Oh, Lad McConkey,
Lad
late
McConkey.
first-round pick that we
Finally,
passed
a
off.
Second round
pick.
pick.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
help
second
you.
round
It's a
pick.
Second round
Nico
pick.
Collins, 3rd round pick.
You didn't
Come
say
on.
you didn't say worthy.
No,
Are you
he's not a
throwing
top
shade-
receiver.
Hey, are you throwing shade at Bean right now?
I'm
with
just saying
misses?
draft receivers at some point,
So-
at any point.
So
every damn pick
hold
on
on,
a wide
Yeah,
receiver.
they did
let me
Shakir
ask you
at
this: So
5.
should we just be firing at receivers at this? And this isn't me.
I'm
like
saying-
I'm
I'm
not
s-
pushing
yeah, yeah.
back.
Throw-
I'm just
throw two.
asking.
I'm
Go
saying
after 2.
throw a few picks at receiver
Listen,
over a span
We
of
got
3-4 years.
Shavers
I'm
is
not
an
saying anything
undrafted wide
crazy.
receiver. That's an asset they threw at him.
But Bean
Undrafted.
is obsessed. It's like it's like D-line
Hey,
defense.
last week Sean
every
said
every year.
he wants to load up on defense. I think they should load up on offense, and
They did the year
always
prior.
seem to make do with their defense after injuries every single year. So just throw assets at the offense.
I'm in for a draft where we load up on offense. Yes.
You're in your
100%.
lineman?
For 2 years ago.
That will probably
That was
happen
2
this year
years
when
ago.
we don't win the Super
Go
Bowl.
look at the Bills draft 2 years ago.
Which
well, they
draft
got to
we
do
talking?
something
The
different
Coleman
because
draft?
this isn't
Took-
working.
Coleman? draft?
No, the year before that.
The Kincaid draft.
The Kincaid draft.
You going to have some smoke, Sean?
I'm just saying more picks at
They took
Skill
almost every
position.
single pick on the offense the year prior to this. Almost took no defense.
Is that Osiris Torrance?
Yes.
But as far as wideout, our one wideout pick that's been a significant
Right,
draft pick has
I
been
get you
Keon.
can say that, but that to me, when you're saying like you're picking guys that were drafted in the 4th, 5th round, then why not draft Brady in like the 6th round? Why did everybody suck at that? Tom Brady.
I'm just saying, throw
Like,
some
the GOAT.
darts.
Like,
throw a few darts.
You're throwing darts,
they
but
have.
what
They've
if we
drafted
feel-
Hodgins? You have a wide receiver you drafted this year. Is he on the team?
Did you say Isaiah Hodges?
Huh? Yeah, was drafted above Gabe Davis.
Drafted.
The year that Gabe Davis was Hodgins was
Maryland,
drafted
I forget
above
his name.
Gabe Davis.
Should we?
To say that they don't draft wide receivers is absolutely, to me, I know what the radio narrative is, and I want to drive my head right through this concrete wall when I hear it. They draft wide receivers. They want you to draft the top wide receiver in a class.
There's no
the
guarantee.
Bills aren't
like-
going to get a top wide receiver. I think they've tried multiple times to get those guys. You need somebody to actually trade with you to go get that and not be a ridiculous trade.
Do we want? Here's my question on this, and this is where I see like you want to throw darts, and I get that, and I love the idea of like throwing darts at players, but at the same time too, I feel like you can do that to an extent, but if you know or you have a better feeling about another player, and let's say the next best player is a defensive player, and it's a spot where we might need someone in 2 years where we know we can develop them, and let's say it's our 2nd or 3rd round pick, and we feel like we've done a lot of research on this player, should we be taking that guy over saying we know and we feel like there's a 80% chance this guy's going to be playing for us in 2 years and starting over, okay, there's this other guy and he's a wide receiver and it's a coin flip. I will
I'm
give you
taking
the
the
80% guy.
specific example right now. The Buffalo Bills drafted Keon Coleman first in the 2nd round. Needed a wide receiver. Would they be better off taking the best defensive player than taking Keon Coleman?
No,
right
because
now?
he'd probably be hurt.
They would have. Are you talking about the white corner that went to Philly? The exciting white.
The exciting whites.
I'm talking about anybody. I'm
what's that
asking
kid's
you a
name?
serious question
There's
right
two
now.
of them.
What's his name?
Dijon.
Blanket ship.
Dijon, yeah. Cooper
Oh,
DeJean.
Cooper DeJean.
Cooper
Yeah.
DeJean.
Or blanket
Dijon.
ship.
I would have taken
Dijon.
Cooper DeJean there, but no, I wanted Lad McConkey there.
Joe, how many assets would you throw at Justin Jefferson when Minnesota's trading him this offseason?
Well, you're definitely giving up 2 other players because he comes with a $30 million a year contract.
Would you go after that player?
He's a difference maker. Yes, I think you do it, but you have to who are you giving up?
Shavers.
Yeah, they're not you're not giving up Shavers for that. You're giving up Bosa for that.
You got to give up money.
Well, Bosa's a 1 year
Like,
anyway.
gotta give up
Like
guys
I
with
get the whole
contracts.
Diggs, we got rid of Diggs and blah 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 blah. We also got rid of Diggs's 20-some million, and you got James Cook because of Stephon Diggs.
Hold on, could you
just
get-
so we all are clear, you would not have James Cook currently on the team if you had Stephon
Cook
Diggs
and
still on
Shakir.
the team. I'm saying
That's
just
your money.
yeah, right.
Uh,
It's Cook, Shakir, it's Rousseau.
How about
it's
this?
Bernard.
So
it's like
Would you
how
give
many
up?
of
Would
them?
you give up
Trade.
Knox and
picks.
Dawkins
See ya.
for him?
See ya. Hell yeah.
They're both at the end
See
of their
ya.
career. Yes, like 2 years from now when they're off your books, I think you can go do that.
No. Would you give up
Currently.
Knox and Dawkins?
You're
next
not
year?
giving up. No
Yesterday.
one's taking that off. That's not to me. That's not a realistic.
The-
Are you
the
saying
problem is
take
you-
those
expectation.
contracts off the books on top of giving the
No
assets
one's
up to
taking
get
Knox
Jefferson?
for what his money is
Yeah.
currently right
No
now.
one's taking Knox.
And Dawkins,
No.
Dawkins, you
Period.
keep restructuring.
Period.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
his contract is the way that
Dawkins
it is
gonna hit
because
at the end.
we have restructured him 100% of the time and
It's like
basically
your ramifications
You're
are
just like
huge.
kicking him
kept
down
him
the
down,
road,
and now they're
Yeah.
like, "Holy crap, that contract really looks
fucking-
crappy."
Yeah,
well,
we're
it
stuck
wasn't
with
that
Knox
crappy
another
2
year,
or
I
3
think,
years ago
yeah.
Sure.
when we were
Bobby
buying this player
Bonilla
that we
over
wanted
here,
to do.
fucking the Bills.
So you have better odds of getting someone like Brian Thomas, who still has 2 years left on a rookie deal,
Right,
Still
and
paying
they were
Knox in
talking,
20
won't
years.
have huge money left on the line.
which to me was promising because he was actually like had talked about at the trade line, like them actually talking in Jacksonville to try to go
So-
get Brian
so I
Thomas
think
Jr., which
that's-
is somebody that I will say that I think they tried to draft in that draft. And Jacksonville would not trade with them.
So I
and
think-
you can take your toys in the sandbox
All right,
and
all right.
complain. But you
What
need
about the
Jacksonville
Jalen
to
Waddle
do it.
trade?
Yeah, but-
Let's talk about the
but I go
Jalen
back to
Waddle
Jalen-
opportunity.
They
where's
specifically
the money?
told you
Last
they
time
weren't
we
going to
talked about
draft to you.
this.
What's it?
They
Well,
specifically, and it wasn't
no,
just the
the-
Bills. They
the rumor
specifically
was-
didn't draft to New England either. The rumor was that they wanted that, but they still also, the other rumor was they wanted another draft pick. Yeah, that was great. But they also said they weren't trading with anybody in the AFC East. And I believe that one because New England also tried to get players off their team.
The rumor,
And they wouldn't trade to there. And their lead beat reporter basically came out and said the owner's not trading anybody to the AFC East, that they have to play twice and get dunked on any team every year twice. He's just not doing it.
I 100% believe that. And what I hate about that is that we didn't recognize that as something that could possibly happen. Like, you have to know that they do not want to work with you.
Yeah.
Like, they're not idiots like you
The Chiefs
who
like
traded
working
with
with
the
us.
Chiefs for a fucking draft pick that you got Keon Coleman instead of Worthy, which is a different
You
conversation.
also got Ray Davis out of that too.
That's fine. He's okay.
And Xavier Worthy to me is a coin flip with Keon Coleman. As much as we all hate him
No,
right now.
no, no,
Oh,
no.
I'm
no.
sorry.
I'd take
Go
Worthy.
go
No way.
read
Go
some
watch
case.
them this year.
Spend a week. Read KC
I don't have that time.
Media. spend a half a day and go read KC Media right now on what they think of Xavier Worthy right now, and come back and tell me if it's what our perception in Buffalo is.
I don't think Worthy's good, but I'd take him over
He's
Keon.
better than Keon.
Keon is useless, in my opinion.
I don't know. I think they're 6 and 1, half a dozen the other.
Right.
Regardless,
And I
Yeah, we're
think
just
everybody in
giving- I
Buffalo,
agree- I agree
think
what you
everybody
mean
in
about the
Buffalo
AFC East.
thinks what we drafted Keon Coleman. I think the disconnect with him is what the Bills took Keon Coleman as, and what everybody in Buffalo thinks. And that's why I specifically asked you, what do you think of Keon? Like when the Bills drafted Keon, what do you think that they got at that point?
I thought he was a fucking idiot with the way that he talked about his yellow coat.
Yeah, I mean,
But
You said he's
I'm
not.
just talking about like the perception.
I
Like,
thought he was going to be an
come in and be-
ex-player and
I
be in
thought
the
he'd be
middle.
They made-
Ex
they
number
made it
one
seem-
player, right?
they made
And
it
then he's
seem
on the
that
I
way.
don't
boundary.
think they did. They moved back to the second round purposely.
well,
Moved
they were
back
smart. They got him
purposely and
cheaper
got
than-
out of the second round
Yeah.
because I think, like everybody in Buffalo wanted an X number one,
Oh,
like
I
the
didn't
fan
think-
base.
I never
I
said he was a
came-
number one.
I
And that's
came
when you
out of
asked
this
me, I
podcast
think his
post
role-
draft, and I said Keon Coleman fits into the X receiver role like O.J. Simpson's hand fit into his glove. That's what I said on this podcast.
Are you talking about
Replay it.
with the vinyl rub or with the vinyl glove on?
Yeah, he's
or
a terrible
without
fit
the-
as an X receiver. That was like 2 days after draft day.
Pull it
He
up.
was a
Pull up.
Pull it up. Pull it up.
He
Go to the
was-
clips.
the-
I got it. I got the clips.
The Buffalo Bills took Keon Coleman as I believe, Gabe Davis. I honestly, that's the person I think they did.
No, I don't think they thought him as. I don't. Think
I
he
do.
was a
I
Gabe
could.
No,
Davis
'cause in
style
the- in the-
player.
could see
I
that.
do because you
In
look
the
at what he's
post-draft
doing.
Pressers,
He's
they're like,
sitting
he's
there
an X
blocking.
receiver.
He's getting the majority of the reps, and he's got most of the playtime this year. And he's on the field more than anybody else. And you
think
know
he's
what he's doing?
blocking,
He's
and
blocking.
He's half-ass blocking, and I think he's doing that because we're like we don't have any other bodies to do.
No,
it, maybe.
they got to have another body to put out there instead of him.
I think he's going to be an
Played-
active soon.
I'd
I
rather
think
see
they
Jack
played him
Oz
and
out there
wanted
more than
him to be
Coleman.
Gabe Davis.
So they plan to have no number one receiver at all, and just
You
spread it
have
around?
you have other two. You had
Kincaid.
No, you had Palmer, Kincaid, and you had Shakir.
Well, we just got Palmer.
right this year, going into this
Yeah.
year. Yeah, but last year you had
Hollins.
you had Hollins who was doing the
Just
blocking
sucks. All
more
these
than
people
what
you
he
had all these
was.
plans for aren't.
But I
panning
think
out.
they had the true miss of everything is Curtis Samuel. I will go down. That's the miss. What they had planned for Curtis Samuel and what they paid him and what Curtis Samuel has provided has not matched whatsoever. It's 100% a miss. I think, Bean will sit there and tell you to your face, like, yeah, I didn't think if I knew he was going to be hurt this much, we wouldn't have paid him. And their offense, like, that's the miss. I think that
You don't
guy
think
was-
Palmer's a miss either?
it's too early to say if he's a miss or not, and he's missed too much time currently.
Well, with what he's provided so far, I would say he's a miss, even with his injuries, right?
I think
Well,
you
he
needed a
hasn't
backup
played.
plan to Palmer. Like, you can't just be like, oh, Josh Palmer is our number one receiver, and there's no backup plan.
I take injuries into account with this. Like because he's injured, he hasn't panned out.
Right. He also got not hip drop tackled because they didn't fall on his legs, but hip drop because they fell next to his
Right.
legs. Scummed against Atlanta, and he's out. I can't fault a guy for that.
No,
you're
I
not,
know,
not
but-
going to get hurt by that. It's like getting shot out in the street and being like, why
I'm
did you
just
get
saying
shot?
that
Like going to get pizza.
Well, this is where I
On
thought, and
On
to your
Bailey, yeah.
point,
Yeah,
having a
yeah,
backup
yeah.
plan, and going back to full circle to what you said about the AFC East, you had to have a good idea that they were not going to make that trade with you for Waddle.
So I want to.
So why do you not
Early
look
on.
I'm in
outside of the
agreement.
division?
Yeah, he
So-
did. They also were
Can I-
talking to Jacksonville for Brian Thomas Jr.
Well, and
I
then there was
don't
talking
think-
about that. There's about
Yeah,
Shaheed.
but who
There's
else? Yeah, but
Olave,
Shaheed is.
whatever,
What has Shaheed
but-
done in Seattle? He's done absolutely nothing. I did not want them to have Shaheed at all.
Maybe you
Like,
better with
that's
Josh Allen.
To be honest with you, if you want to give me Shaheed for what they gave, I'm taking Cooks off the street for whatever. Like, I'm not giving up a 4th and 5th for a newer version of Cooks.
I want to come back to the
I
Miami
would.
thing, and I think here's two sides of it.
I know that's fine. You would. I'm not, and I'm looking at what Seattle's gotten out of Shaheed. They haven't really.
he has been bad.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but you have a number one. In
They
Seattle.
also, and to talk
Yeah.
to that point,
he
is
doesn't have to be the number.
they
one
also
in
were
Seattle.
in on Olave, which I would have taken.
I
in
would have
New
taken
Orleans.
Olave, yeah.
New Orleans didn't want to trade Olave. You still need somebody else to actually trade with you.
yeah, but any of these
And
guys
clearly,
can
we
make a
all know
difference.
that we do not have palm trees in Buffalo because we have a hockey team.
palm trees
That
and
we
taxes,
all know
baby.
there are no palm trees in Buffalo. So the palm trees aren't getting players here.
We do have taxes, too.
We don't have hurricanes that wipe out your house either.
But all jokes aside, you need teams to actually trade with you. And I think, at the trade deadline, if you really look, the only team in the top 6 at the time that made a trade.
Oh yeah, there was very few.
No, but the only
impact.
team, who's the only team in the top 6 at the time that made a trade
Philly?
at the trade deadline? Philly.
Philly.
And how are they
Philly.
doing currently right now?
Yeah, not great.
Although
So-
their trade was impactful. He's been pretty good. The DN they got from Miami.
Yeah, when he gave up over 250
Phillips?
yards.
That's crazy.
Well, he didn't
Last
do it
week?
on his own.
Like they got run up on more than we ran up on Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I want to say one thing to the trade point, and it kind of made my mind stick in this. The rumor was not about what we were going to give them; it was about which year we were giving them the
Which
first
draft
round.
class?
Which
yeah.
draft class?
Yep.
I am now starting to think both your statements have impact on what this, and both have some truth. Do you maybe think that the GM was giving us false hopes and they were playing a game of let's keep feeding them and thinking we're going to give them this, and they knew the entire goddamn time they weren't going, no matter what we bend to, unless
Because
we
they
bent
wanted
over.
2026 and not the 20.
Yeah,
And
they
but
were.
even if we gave them 2026, they would have maybe asked for more, just to totally bend us over. And they were playing a psychological game of like, let's not let Bean go after anyone else, and really because he thinks we have this deal and we're gonna get to the end of it by 4 o'clock.
Yes, I believe that, and I believe Indy effed everybody.
Indy did F everyone with a ridiculous trades. Yeah,
That
there was way
whole-
too much.
that
But
whole
now Sauce
first-
Gardner's fucking
Week to
out
week.
for who long?
Waddle.
Who
Week to
knows
week.
how
He's
long,
not going
yeah.
on IR though. because that would be absolute bad PR
And
for
by the
put
way,
him out
by
on
the way,
IR and
he
then
sucks
miss the
anyway,
playoffs.
Sauce Gardner.
Sauce?
No.
Yeah. Too much
But
sauce.
I'll be honest with you. If you listen across the league, once they made a ton of trades, Sauce got done. And at that time, on that trade day, a lot of the insiders flat out said, like, oh, we got all these other trades that we know are happening. And they all
Nothing
ended.
happened.
All ended. Not just the Bills. All of them ended when Indy made that trade.
The insiders were speaking like a week before, saying there's going to be a
Oh, yeah.
crazy amount of trades 2 days before they thought it was going to happen. And then the last day, they were like, when nothing had happened really up to that, they were like, it's going to get wild and you're going to see a bunch of trades today. Yeah. And then that Indy trade went down and it just, everything fizzled out.
So part of the reason, and I didn't know this until this year, actually listening to Brandon Bean taught me something. So Brandon Bean truther here.
We all learned something, you know?
But the night before is the night that you have to actually declare and move cap space around. You can't do it the day of. So if you are going to make something like a JJ trade or something crazy like that, you have to do it at least 24 hours before the deadline. To
Which we
move your
did.
Books around.
We moved Taron Johnson. We restructured Taron Johnson.
They didn't end up doing it though. So
That was
you
the
have to
word.
put in saying that you are going to do it, but when the trade didn't happen, they didn't have to then do
Okay.
that trade. So we didn't end up actually restructuring.
It's like a contingent restructure.
It's a contingent restructuring. You have to do that at least 24 hours before the trade deadline. I did not know that
Okay.
until he said that. So like those big trades and things like that, that last day, I think he was more pissed off
I do
24
think
hours before we were all pissed off in Buffalo. Like majority of the people were
I
pissed
think
off in
I think we
Buffalo.
got ahead. The more I think about it now and the way we
Like I
talked
said,
about it.
I'd rather be pissed off than pissed on.
no,
If you want to be pissed
I'm
on,
gonna
boys,
push back on
Bailey
that. I'm gonna
Pizza.
push back on that.
Yeah, go stand
Bailey
against the
Pizza.
wall.
Go stand
Go-
against the wall.
And Herb's pushing back on that. He wants
We're a
to
Bills tailgate enthusiast over here.
I do think the Waddle rumor was a bunch of bullshit that the Bills put out there to be like, oh, look, we tried hard. Like, fuck off.
I don't know.
I'm not
He's
a bean truther anymore. I used to be a bean truther.
being really
Yeah,
triple,
flick the
quadruple
bean, I
down,
say.
flick the bean. Yeah, yeah. He really kind of came out with his interview and was like very pushed back on the fact that he's like, he's like, I don't bet, and if I was gonna bet on something, I would have bet on the fact that I was gonna make a trade and pick someone up. So I think he was just as surprised, and yeah, with him making the moves or the contingent like cap space moves, I think in his mind he had it. But listen, we can look at it and say all day long, we wish we had this, we want this, and we wish we would have taken this draft pick this day, and the guy in the 5th round, wow, he really panned out. Why the fuck weren't we taking this random guy in the 5th round? No, I mean, it's somewhat of a crapshoot, and I think at the end of the day, like, we do pretty good at developing players, and we're gonna just have to continue working with what we have, obviously.
And they made the best draft pick with one Joshua Patrick Allen.
Yeah,
Generational.
And if we
Like that's the one that like you can knock him for everything else, but you don't give him credit for Josh. When you have people
He
in
did
Buffalo,
pick the
like,
right Josh.
right, telling him to F off because they wanted the other Josh that wasn't even
I
in
said
the
that.
NFL.
I'll admit that.
This podcast
Josh
would have
Rosen
never
guy.
existed if we picked that idiot.
The question is, though, how long can you get by on that?
I think
How
they
long
made-
can we say,
Yeah, but
he's
he
the
made-
guy who brought us Josh Allen. He's the guy that brought us Josh Allen.
He's
Like,
the
if
guy
we
that
don't-
also brought us James Cook,
That's fine.
Gregory Rousseau.
That's fine.
He's signed more actual players this year that
He's got to sign somebody.
drafted.
He's
Yeah,
got to
but
put a team together.
They've kept you. You've kept more of your draft picks, and there are more Buffalo Bills draft picks in the NFL, even if they're not on the Bills, than any other team in the NFL.
Yeah. I don't rip on him for his draft.
So to
He's-
sit
he's-
there and say that he's terrible at drafting,
Yeah.
to me is bullshit, and it's without any. That's just feelings, and it's not in any common sense. Like he has more draft picks in the NFL playing currently than any other GM, and yes, he's missed on some, But so have other GMs that everybody says they're the greatest GM in the world.
In every sport.
So
This is not just a football thing. Every GM in every sport hits and miss.
So let's say this: the Bills don't make the playoffs
This year?
Yes, the end of the season does not go
So
as well as we
you're
want to.
betting
go.
on the 8% currently.
I'm not betting on anything. This is completely hypothetical for the podcast.
Okay.
You know,
I love
for
it.
our fans. Okay, so the Bills don't make the playoffs
Well, it's been a
Who
short
is
podcast
gone?
season.
at the end of the season.
Management wise?
Brady,
Oh, no, sorry.
McDermott, or Bean,
Both coordinators.
or multiples.
Both coordinators.
Someone didn't listen to last week's podcast.
Not at all. not a second.
We touched upon that.
So what was the answer?
Last week,
Coordinators.
pretty sure it was coordinators. It was no one else. It just because, and the reason was I remember because I said it.
Scapegoats.
It was as a result of a Josh Allen injury, which was an easy excuse. No one loses their job. That was probably going to be the only way the Bills missed the playoffs. Is if Josh Allen goes down, he's done for
No.
the season.
So my situation is not that at all.
Oh well, that's
we
what we
lose
discussed
these
last
games.
week.
We
With the-
lose these games.
we lose
you're
these
saying
games.
we're lose
Healthy
out.
Josh Allen.
Hypothetically,
Yes.
we don't lose out. You can still not make the playoffs, not losing out.
So,
No,
all
no,
right.
lose
Wait a
the
minute.
Bengals,
No,
lose the
we'll use
Eagles.
this because I think this is everybody sees what the schedule is that we're 8-4 and all these teams are right behind us,
Sure,
but they don't realize what they're playing.
right.
That they
but
all
I'm
are
just
playing
saying,
each other.
I'm just saying.
So
say we
no, I
lose-
want to
we
say
don't
this
make
for
it.
the fans here, right?
For Dennis, who's watching.
I'm
for
not trying
Dennis
to
who's
give anybody
watching.
hope here. I'm trying to pose a hypothetical.
I know the
Who's
hypothetical,
gone?
but I'm also I don't think personally I wouldn't fire anybody.
Not even Babbage.
so if we don't make the playoffs, you're
No,
running
he
it back
called
with
the
everybody we
defense.
have right now.
He called the defense in Pittsburgh.
You'd have to get rid of Brady at the least.
Offensive coordinator
I don't
and
think you
Bean
can-
are the only people I think can have a chance of going on the chopping block. I don't
wow.
think
Those
McDermott.
two?
McDermott does not have a chance at going.
I don't think there's a chance in
Um,
hell Brandon Bean gets fired.
Bean's
for
If
gonna
we
go-
miss the playoffs with a healthy
For
Josh
4
Allen,
more years.
I think somebody's got to go.
But I'm saying the last person to go is McDermott.
Your coordinators go.
But but I also think it's just an offensive coordinator that goes, and I think if there's a chance of another person going, I think Bean goes.
You're
before your
saying Bean
defensive
is
coordinator.
gone before McDermott.
100%.
I think so.
100.
I
Why,
think
why do
so,
you think
too.
that? Why do you think that?
Because your two biggest paid weapons on this team are on the offensive side of the ball. If that's the reason that we lose, because our offense doesn't score enough points, I think your offensive coordinator's gone.
But I would argue that you have a defensive coach and your defense has been pretty bad other than the Steelers game that
I
It
don't
should
think
look the
they've been
opposite way.
pretty bad.
still
besides
stay in-
the
we
Steelers
still
game.
stay in
They've
games.
kept
who
us
are
in
the
games.
who are the two highest paid on offense?
Well, I would say,
Allen.
Allen
Josh,
Dawkins.
Allen.
and you. Well, you could.
Next
I don't know if
year,
it's
Allen
Dawkins
and
or if it's
Knox.
Cook.
No, you got to go on the other side of the ball.
Who is it?
Benford is making more than anybody.
Isn't
Rousseau's up
Rousseau
there, too.
making more than
Yeah.
Benford even?
You then go over to the
Then
other
Dawkins
side.
and Cook.
Yep.
Okay.
And
That's news
also
to me.
the defense has more injuries than and people have gone down
I
more
just
than
don't
anyone,
like-
and we've worked with the
Right.
last.
I
on
don't
the
see
defense
anybody
than the
getting
offense.
with the amount of injuries. It's I think I implore everybody to actually take a look at the 53-man roster week 1 and look at what our roster currently is.
Spend a week and look
Not
at it.
no, you need to spend 4 seconds and look it up and just read through position groups. This is not the Buffalo Bills team that Brandon Bean built. It's the Buffalo Bills team that he's like
Band-aided together.
freaking Frankenstein
Well,
I just think
together
I
to
just think
be
with
out
Josh
there.
Allen, if you're not making the playoffs at all, with the way that our playoffs are now, somebody's got to go.
all right, I
You
got
have to
I got
improve
another
somewhere.
hypothetical
just
that's
to
more
me,
believable.
They're
More
going to make the
believable.
playoffs.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I don't see
Yeah.
them.
You can
missing
think
the
they're going to make
playoffs.
it. I'm just
I
saying.
agree with the
if we
hypothetical,
do
though, but
not,
someone's got to go.
Hold on.
someone.
If Bean were to get fired, is Pagula doing it?
Fuck no.
No.
Fuck no.
Well, who's doing it
He
then?
doesn't know
McDermott's
shit
going to
about
fire
sports.
Bean?
Look at the fucking Sabres.
but he's the
Who's
only
gonna
one
fire
that
him?
can fire him.
Right. So is McDermott going to fire Bean?
No.
Oh, he can fire him, but he's not. I thought you were saying step into the position.
No. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
I was
I
going to
don't
say, I
care.
don't
I
think
just-
Pagula fires anybody.
Oh, he can
I
do
got
whatever he
a
wants.
better
I thought you were putting
hypothetical.
Pagula in the fucking position.
This
I'll tell you
this
right
is
now.
Oh God, no!
I was like, get the fuck out of here. No more apple pie.
this is gonna happen too. This is gonna happen this year.
Oh,
All right?
fortune teller.
So, Chiefs or Ravens, whichever one you want. Let's start with the Chiefs. Chiefs missed the playoffs, we'll say.
Okay.
Which I'm still not buying that the Chiefs are missing the playoffs yet. Until they're dead, I'm not. It's
Right.
like I'm not,
Mathematically eliminated.
until they're gone, I don't see it. But say the Chiefs miss the playoffs. Whose head rolls? It's not Reed. It's not Steve Spagnuolo. Like, who the hell is going to go?
Oh.
The offensive coordinator
If-
doesn't count because it's Andy Reid's the offensive
Oh,
coordinator.
if the Bills and the Chiefs both don't make the playoffs, which that's probably not going to happen, but hypothetically, if Spagnuolo gets fired, do the Bills go after him?
Because it's not.
It's not Spagnuolo.
We're
It's
in,
going to
like,
be if
Gaga
someone rolls.
Goo land right now.
I applaud her.
But that's why I like it.
Yeah,
I would take
do
him in a
not
heartbeat.
like it.
I'd take him in a heartbeat.
I applaud
This
her.
is
I
where
would
I
like
live.
to take Jerry
I
Rice
live
and
in the
Jerry
negative.
Rice's prime
All right,
and put
this
him
is
as
where
our
I
wide
live.
receiver one.
I applaud her for.
That's what I would like to do. I think the Bills should figure out how to get Jerry Rice back to his prime, and that's the wide receiver we
Is
should
Dion
target.
available?
and
Is
put him
Dion
on the
available
team.
to come out of
using that
Colorado?
Socratic theory of I like where he was going with it. However, they have 3 rings they can hold up, and that buys you a championship, let alone 3. Buys
That's
you
like a gun
so
rack.
much runway.
I mean, that is true. Think about what we've said about
these
if the Bills
guys.
win a
They'll
Super
be
Bowl.
they'll be here until they decide they don't want to
We
be.
don't care what happens
but
in the next 20
I
years.
do understand what you're
Unless
saying.
you're in Philly.
all right. Sean says Chiefs have 3 rings, so they can rest on those laurels. Fine, agreed. Ravens missed the playoffs. Who's dying? Who's going?
Harbaugh,
Everyone.
Harbaugh.
probably.
They kind of
but
need to
do you
rebuild,
push
honestly.
do you push a just like a Josh Allen being hurt kind of situation? Do you push a Vic? He's hurt.
I,
No,
I
Lamar
would hope
Jackson's hurt, so that's
for
why
me, I
the
hope they
excuse.
fire somebody for the Bills' stake. I hope they fire somebody, but it's the absolute dumbest thing known to man.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Just go back 2 years ago and tell me what everybody thought about Miami and their offensive coordinator. If they
Right.
can, if you know what I mean, like they were the bee's knees. Everything's great. Anybody want that setup currently right now?
Well, some
Right.
people would take Mike McDaniel as the
I
offensive
think
coordinator.
That was said
They're
on this
somewhat
podcast.
on like. I think they took up the Bailey's Avenue, like after,
Oh, the herbs.
But here's the one thing, if we're going to give KC some runway, Baltimore has underachieved beyond what
Correct.
Buffalo's
I think
done. If
Harbaugh-
we're ready to cut loose
right.
general
I think
managers here,
Harbaugh is a little bit more on the hot seat than anybody else there.
right?
Only for the simple fact that he has not had the playoff success that the Buffalo Bills have had.
True.
But you could play the Lamar was injured, and you get a
You
little
can't play
bit
the
more.
Lamar was injured with Lamar's current playoff.
That's true.
statistics.
That's true. But I'm
That's the
saying
difference. I think that's what is somewhat lost. Yes,
I mean,
We
they
were
were Mark
in the
Andrews
AFC
drop away from beating the Bills last year.
they were, but Buffalo. You can say the same thing about the Bills. Were a make the right effing call on 4th and 1, or even 3rd down when Kincaid catches the ball and gets the first down before that play, and they go down and score, and that game's put away, and they're in the Super Bowl.
That was a tough catch to make, though.
No,
Mark
I'm not.
Andrews dropped it in his fucking hands.
Right, I get that, but I'm talking about you can always go to a game and sit there and say you're this play away from doing that. The following
sure. I
week,
still
the
live in
Bills,
13-second land.
right? The Bills in the
I don't wanna
championship
live there.
game.
That's why you live in such a negative world.
I know.
The Bills in the championship game where they did the push and they changed to the stupid virtual measurement, which is absolutely ridiculous and dumb. That wasn't the problem. The problem was you marked the ball wrong.
Right.
You didn't
Clearly.
measure it wrong. The chain is
The Chiefs fan ref marked the ball intentionally wrong. Yes.
correct. So unless you're Dallas, the Chiefs get the call. But you were that for the Bills, and you would have been in the Super Bowl. Now, do I think they beat Philly last year? No, I think Philly was a wagon last year with that defense. They lost a lot of guys after that year.
But it would have been nice to be there.
It would have been nice to be there. But I think we all would have been like, the Bills are in the Super Bowl. You don't have to get away with this. They made it to the Super Bowl. They had success and did
It's like the next step. We're here. Okay.
This is nice. But we did that in the 90s, got there 4 times and ran the GM
All right,
to Indy to go win his.
You just talked about it would have been nice to be there. I had a caller called in today on GR.
It was Brendan.
Oh my God. and he made this statement, and there's no way I can live with it. He said he'd rather go to 4 Super Bowls in a row and lose them than win one. And I'm like, that
The
is
dumbest person I've ever
absolutely
met.
You're talking to people here
outrageous.
who would have cut off an appendage
Or their
Yeah.
balls.
to
I've
have
already
been to
ruled on
won a
this
Super
one.
Bowl.
I've already ruled. It's already been dealt. There's no hypothetical at all because I lived it.
Yeah.
The Bruins won a Stanley Cup.
Oh my
You'll-
God.
you'll win for it.
Hockey? Come
Jesus.
on.
They should have won 4.
Put
They
it to a
didn't.
vote. Is he out?
They lost
Let's
the
vote
next
him
3.
out. Vote him out. See you, Sean.
your flame has been put out.
Right? They ended up losing the 3. I'll savor the 1 win forever. That's been ruled. That guy's crazy. He's delusional, and I can tell you from firsthand experience.
Well, and
Win one.
look at too, just what's followed the 4 losses. I mean, you're just like the
Heartbreak.
redhead stepchild of the NFL.
You got a nice Snickers commercial out of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You got you got the 4 Falls of Buffalo. The nice documentary.
We
The
just
Hallmark-
we were just
Hallmark
on
movie.
Peyton's place.
Yeah.
And they supposedly got rid of the curse.
Was
and
he
lost the
saying-
next week?
Was he saying he would have, knowing we lost the 4 Super Bowls?
No. He's saying
It sounds like
tomorrow,
you would take
He'd
4
rather
Super
lose
Bowls
4
with Josh.
starting
additional
this
Super
year,
Bowls.
go to the next 4 Super Bowls and lose all 4, then
That's
win
the
one.
most insane thing
and not
I've
go to
ever heard
another
in my
one
life.
in 10 years.
We've all said that we would trade Josh Allen for a Super Bowl
Can
win.
you imagine
Yeah.
the
the
number of
amount,
people that
I don't
are
know if
freaking-
they
How many
turned.
people killed themselves?
I don't know if they
over
turned
4
callers
Super Bowls
away.
in a row
Yeah.
and not winning.
I feel like they probably turned callers away, but the people talk it was on One Bills Live too. So you had Tasker and them going
Is this guy retarded?
they were
The
basically
death rate.
that's
And
what
I
they
just
wanted to
said
say
the
without
R-word.
saying
I
it. They
just
were
used
like,
the R-word.
It's back.
It's
It's back, Kyle. You're
astronomical
allowed.
death
It's back.
rate.
It is.
Everyone
back.
would be dead. Everyone in this room
Donald
would be
Trump
dead
said
by
it,
the end of that.
Unreal.
the liquor stores would be doing
he
great
has
in Western
yeah.
Europe.
Everyone would have a
That's
heart
something.
attack.
Yeah.
It's
He
insane.
has an IQ lower than 70.
Yeah.
And,
Unreal.
and it was his whole thing was he was an old timer and he's like, I lived through it and it was great. And I'm like, was it?
What was
was-
great?
Was it great to lose 4
All
in a row?
that
I
build
mean,
up to be let down.
I
And
don't-
to look
I was
back
a kid.
on
I
it
enjoyed
constantly.
going to it, but I was a kid and didn't know
didn't know any better.
know any better.
Kyle and I can attest to this one. 'cause-
Whoa. Don't rope me into this. What?
No, I was just to say, are you talking about living through the 4 Super Bowls or?
Yeah.
Living through the 4
Yeah, I mean, we were old enough to appreciate what was happening,
I was in 5th grade at the first one.
but old enough to understand.
and I bet $50 on it.
Oh, so you're the fucking reason. Norwood missed it.
It's not the fact that they went out in Tampa and
Yeah, they weren't.
Partied their
I
ass
know,
off.
I know,
did
but
lines,
we
all
all,
Hookers and
that other
below.
stuff,
we all thought. If you were to pull Buffalo in 1990, 91, 95% would have thought, not being biased, would have thought we were going to beat the Giants. We were nervous.
We were beating the Giants.
We were nervous about the 49ers. When the Giants knocked off the 49ers, we were already popping the champagne. That's not.
That's
it's
the
on
problem,
Buffalo.
is we were already popping the
They had
champagne.
if that's your 4th Super Bowl and not your first, and that's you just flip the script. Same teams going up against each other. The Bills, I think, win but I think they were just happy to be there. That was Lawrence Taylor's 2nd Super Bowl. They had guys who had already been there before.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
I'm going to push back a little bit.
About what?
The ride, getting there, the ride is pretty fucking sweet. Getting to Super Bowls, getting far into the playoffs, the whole ride of that is pretty sweet. So, I mean, as a Bills fan, I'm enjoying Josh Allen's career here a lot. And I'm trying not to be pessimistic and pissed off that we haven't won a Super Bowl yet, and just enjoying that we have literally the guy who set the touchdown rushing record for quarterbacks, and he's not even 30 yet. That's insane.
He has 292 touchdowns
Yeah,
total.
you got to enjoy it too.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that we lived through 17 drought years. Like, we weren't even in the NFL. We didn't exist. We were just nothing. And if it, I don't even want to say, like,
Folks, he's shedding a tear here.
I don't want to say like that like we're gonna live through Josh Allen's career and he's not gonna win a Super Bowl. That would be just devastating. But I also want to enjoy his
I'm already
career
planning for
too. Yeah, stop it. You got to enjoy it. We're actually playing important games like constantly every year. That's pretty sweet.
Thanks, Herb.
Yeah.
I saw this meme that said, the Earth is 4.5 billion years old.
Yeah.
And you're lucky enough to live during the time that Josh
Yeah.
Allen is
It's
your
a good one.
quarterback.
Yeah.
And for
So-
all of the
Except for the penny. The penny didn't want to see
Oh,
it.
the penny be gone.
right, and I think the Jets are 25 years from a playoff victory. Is that what it's right?
No.
Playoff. They're the longest streak.
14 years.
The
We haven't
longest
won
professional
one.
team without going to the playoffs. Sabres are
More than
like
the Sabres.
Sabres are second. They're 3 months away because of the way the season's
The
end.
Right.
the record for playoff win for you is still in the AFC East. The one that you were talking about.
Okay.
Miami Dolphins are the last team to win.
I was going to say the
Oh,
Giants. The Jets have
so
been
wrong,
there.
right idea,
They're
wrong team.
23
Sure.
Yeah.
years, I believe. After.
All right.
Okay.
Two things, and we're going to cut this short. Or cut this.
Maybe.
Slay. Yeah. Thoughts on Slay? Just another body to fill a hole?
I thought you were talking about the slime.
R.I.P. Dorian Strong. I'm sorry.
Probably.
Slay girl.
And who was the guy they let go? Ingram?
Ingram.
He gone?
Yeah.
Big
No,
play
he'll be on the
Slay.
practice
The goal
squad.
is to
I
re-sign
hope he's
him.
not
If
gone.
he's
I
not
don't
pick-
think anyone's
he's-
gonna pick him
Who's
up.
going to pick him up on waivers? Yeah.
UV
Ingram
product.
micro
Yeah.
penis.
Yeah, Herb?
Got him.
Did anyone else hear, by the way, just another body to fill a hole and think of just childish things the way I did? But kind of like Herb's, just a micro
This is a
penis.
great podcast. We all think the same.
Yeah.
Okay, and I guess we'll do some predictions and see what else Herb comes up with in the next 5 minutes.
Ah, fuck.
He said he had a lot to say.
He did. Is that mason jar gone?
Not even close.
Oh,
his mason
oh
jar.
yeah, his is.
His mason jar is not. I thought you were talking about the-
Yeah, but his is a baby mason jar compared to that one.
That's
Yeah, but it was
Papa's.
straight. It was straight vodka though.
There's no water.
Vodka
There's
in
no
that one,
apples in
and
that.
Rob's got
cinnamon
apple pie
stick.
moonshine in that one, folks.
The secret is he's saying the Nalgene's
Oh, I
full
can
of
zoom
ice
in.
water, and really what it's full of is more vodka with a little ice in it. It's vodka with vodka.
Yes.
Or the mason jar that was
like
this
going-
full was just had the water in it, and that was full of vodka.
I'll take a vodka splash of vodka.
Unreal. All right, who wants to go
Scotch
first?
and water or the scotch?
Who wants to go
see what
first,
you
Joe?
did there.
In ZaBill's podcast history, I'm not picking this game because it works better for the Bills.
Oh, Bills are what, 1-0 without McClappy's clear glasses?
McClappy now?
Yes.
The new one?
Yes.
Clappy, huh?
McClappy.
So you're not picking?
I'm not picking.
Okay.
Does not go well.
Do you want me to do my Joe impression? Is that I
A
can
Joe
do-
impression. It's a
You
Brendan
can.
impression.
I know, but
He's got
Brendan,
impressions
it's
for
only Brendan,
everybody
I can do
here.
an impression for you if you really want me to pick yours.
I want it. I want it.
You can do it.
Okay.
I'm fine with it.
Oh, boy.
He doesn't have the runway that you do. You're easy, but
Oh, my God.
Rob, you're up, buddy.
High scoring game.
Ooh.
Oh.
It's gonna be
It's going to be me.
yes, that too.
Jam.
It's going to come down to the fourth quarter. There's not going to be. I don't think we're going to run away with it.
Dennis is picking Bills 31-28.
I think the Bills are going to. I'm not going to say what the final score is, but I think the Bills are going to win by 9 points.
Is it going to be a similar feeling to the last game? They grind it in the first half.
No.
Struggle.
No. It's going to be back and forth. I think a little bit more than what we saw in Pittsburgh. So I think we're going to be a little bit. I'm really hoping we get out of the gate early, but I think it's going to be scoring back and forth, and then
Scoring.
and then it's going to come down to the fourth quarter, and we're gonna get that
Get it.
Two-score lead.
Get it. All right. Tim, what do you got?
I think we're gonna make it way more stressful than it needs to be. I'm going with
As
That's
you
kind of
know.
what I'm. Yeah, I mean,
That's how I should have ordered
mean,
it.
I'm just trying to look at what the over/under is.
And
53.5. I think you're gonna hit the under. I'm going with 27-17.
Wow.
Way more stressful than
what's
it
the
needs
weather
to be.
supposed to be like here in Buffalo Sunday?
Cold, but
Cold.
dry.
Cold and dry.
So I think my real thing is the question is, will Blackout have more drinks than points the Bengals score?
Oh, shit.
Ooh, that's. I can see the Bengals putting up
I'll
46.
take the over.
It's still
I'll take the over.
Wow.
Tim, you going to find them?
We'll see. We found him 1 week. It was an adventure, though. I mean,
Hey,
but I
Herbie.
mean, if he's drinking his mason jar of vodka, I mean,
Vodka
who knows?
with
He may be
vodka.
sleeping.
Herb, would you
Maybe
drink
not even
beer
make it to
at
the
the games, or is it always like a mixed drink? Usually, like the hard stuff. Grandpa's old cough medicine.
Hey,
It's typically alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what's in beer.
sure. Okay.
The answer's yes. He's
Yes.
just gonna say yes.
Hey,
I
Herb.
don't-
Are you drinking it? Yes.
Herb, how's the erection contest been going?
Oh God!
Well, we are in December, so I mean, it's
So?
gotta be cold, Kyle.
So,
Okay, Kyle, you power through that weather, don't you, Kyle?
Herb, are you guys still doing it or what?
I don't have a mic. I can't see that.
You talking about erections? What are we going from like no
Have you
nut,
heard this
no
story?
nut November into?
Oh,
Have you don't know this
you
story?
heard the story?
I don't know.
What they do at their tailgates?
No, that's been a long time.
I know
since we
he's
did that.
stealing. He's taking balls from little kids. I know that
No,
one.
well, that's throwing fruit or something at kids.
No, I do have a lot of interceptions. I have an interception streak at the tailgates.
Yeah.
I get an interception every week from an unsuspecting duo playing catch.
Usually a child.
4-year-old
Yeah.
and 5-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess
Yeah,
Rob
his
missed the
son.
whole contest you guys used to perform.
I didn't
Post.
perform it. I
just-
watched a couple times.
You judged it. Okay.
We had a couple get hard contests.
This is a real thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Documented.
I have been to during the
It was great stuff. Great content.
when we were in the rough years of the Bills not making the playoff before Josh. I had witnessed
This was the drought years. Yeah.
drought years. I had witnessed
Maybe you
plenty
guys were
of
at the same
times
tailgate.
of guys and girls in between cars getting it on. I've seen that a lot. And then I was
This
actually
is more of the circle jerk variety.
oh, interesting. Okay, like you guys are playing Ookie Cookie over there. Or?
brand new herb.
We're earning that explicit logo. On
And then
Test
yeah,
Order.
It's who can
Podcast.
get the hardest,
Art-
fastest.
we had a group who every year or every game.
Are
we
you still
went-
friends with this group?
Yeah, I still tell you with the same group.
Oh.
But it's
You guys have
thinned out
matured.
over the years. But
Well,
like
Is it because you guys are getting older, so it's
Every-
harder to get
yeah.
hard?
Blue
Yeah.
pills? Blue pills.
every game, the group would
that's
get a keg
PEDs.
for the game, and this was like soon after high school. But none of the times would the keg ever be returned to the person.
Oh my
They would
God.
throw the keg into the woods at the end of every
To lose a
game.
deposit.
God, what are the deposits up to now? Aren't they like $100?
But the
keg
people didn't
deposits?
notice that we
Jesus.
just never returned the kegs. They would just get thrown into the woods.
Oh my God.
So there's a bunch of kegs we can go return somewhere. in the
Probably, yeah.
woods.
$2,000.
Probably rusty.
Yeah.
We fund our podcast for 3 years.
So you guys aren't
Herb's kegs.
doing erection games anymore, or you are?
We don't do them anymore. We gotten a few offers over the year. We got a few recent offers, but those have not been brought back as of yet. I will keep the podcast posted.
All right, thank you.
I would say you're living in no better time right now than to get like erection pills. It seems like it's easier.
There are
to get them
hymns,
than
hymns
ever.
everywhere. I get
Yeah,
ads all day
It's
long.
something worth looking into.
Is that cheating though? Like if you find out someone's
Like Joe
using an
said,
informant
PED.
or performing,
PED.
yeah,
That is
performance
PED.
enhancing
Banned
drug.
like the
no, that would
Soviet
never be
Union.
allowed in that type of contest.
So if you found out, you'd be very up. There'd
Yeah,
be
yeah.
Consequences.
I think you tape it down and then you just release it.
And it was kind of based on the
my
honor
God.
system because, all right, you get a circle of guys looking at somebody playing with themselves,
Oh.
and they're doing it under their pants. No one's actually watching the guy do that.
So what do they
And
turn
it's
around and
built
be
on
like,
the
"Look,
honor.
here it is."
It's built on the honor system. Nope, they just say Yep, I'm hard. I win.
Pretty sure you're quoting the Bible there.
Jesus said that. I know.
Exodus
Corinthians.
4.
Wow.
Is that Old Testament or New Testament?
It's Old Testament.
Old Testament.
Old Testament.
Okay.
Herb went to Sunday school.
For a lack of better terms, I don't know what I walked into here, but
Okay.
Can we get ZaBill's t-shirts made that just say "I'm hard, I win"?
Oh, that would be a good one.
We could do that. Or stickers.
stickers would be good.
Stickers, yeah.
There's no way to follow that up.
No, so it's your pick.
I think my prediction is really easy. I think the Bills launch this Pittsburgh game launches them. I think the Bengals come back to earth. It's in Buffalo. I might be more concerned if it was in Cincy. I know Joe Burrows has got a good record here in Buffalo. I don't at all. I'm not concerned with that. Bills win. I like 28-13.
I'll tell you right now for fucking free. I'm nervous as shit about this game. The Bengals are good.
And they've owned us the last couple games.
They've pwned us,
Oh,
to quote.
the Bible.
I think that was the
Kids.
Old Testament. Yeah.
It might have been Judas or
Pontius
The
Pilate.
Phoenicians.
at the Last Supper.
No, I think it was St. Paul to the Corinthians.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, no, the Bengals are fucking scary, and they have Burrow and Chase, and they might have Higgins. I don't know, but I'll say the Bills get 2 tight end touchdowns. I'll say one from Kincaid, one from Jackson House.
Kincaid is playing?
Sure.
If that
Hopefully.
doesn't get you hard, I don't know what will.
Yeah, I'm hard right now thinking
Kincaid
about it.
Doesn't play, you have to make
I'll
roster
take your
moves.
word for it.
Wait, what?
If Kincaid does not play, they only have 2 tight ends, and the Latue, who's come up the last 3 weeks, is out of elevations. So you either have to sign him and cut somebody if Kincaid does not play. If you want
Kincaid's
3
playing.
touch.
You heard it here first.
What's him?
Or you have to IR someone. Or you put someone on IR.
Right, you have to get somebody off of the 53.
Sources are telling me Kincaid's playing.
Sounds like Coleman's going on the IR. You heard that here first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Bills should be a buzzsaw through that shit defense. That Trey Hendrickson
He's not playing.
Trey Hendrickson-less defense. He's gone.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I think we put up 34, and the Bengals put up 32.
Jesus.
I don't like that either.
He's taking the over, Tim.
We'll bet on it.
I don't. Since everyone else is gonna be betting on the
I'll tell you
over,
what,
so
here's what
yeah.
happens. The over hits, he gets Taco Bell.
Taco Bell bet.
The
The
under
Taco
hits,
Bell
He
bet.
gets La Hacienda.
I like that.
Everyone
I like that
wins.
bet. Agreed. Yeah.
Agreed.
I agree to that.
No matter
Yeah.
what happens.
We just shook on it. Is that on YouTube?
It's on here.
Is that
That's
on the
happening.
tubes?
That's on
So
the
if we
tubes.
hit the over, we get Taco Bell for Sean.
Yeah.
We hit the under, Sean gets La Hacienda.
All right.
Game on.
Just throw that on the tubes.
It's on the tubes.
All right. Good.
Okay. Oh, other way. All right.
So I'm gonna go the opposite of everyone that's talked so far.
Per usual.
Sounds right.
Per usual. So Sean doesn't have to do your job this week.
The Bengals own the Bills, unfortunately. I think that we lose this game. Actually, it's sad. I hope that we win. I hope with my heart, but just with my head, I think we lose this game.
This one feels different than usual. I don't know how I
Yeah,
feel about
this
this,
is-
one.
this
I don't
is-
like this. This one feels.
I'm just very.
sincere.
Yeah.
If they win this game, it changes my thought on them. I
If
could
who
say
win?
that. If the Bills win this game.
Oh,
If the Bills win this game,
they've restored faith.
the defense shows up against this offense. It's gonna having T. Higgins or not having T. Higgins is gonna make a big difference, I think, in this offense, obviously. But if they can hold this defense to under 30 and we can actually score, which has been a struggle, I think, against teams that we should score against, minus the Steelers. I I just don't see it happening. And I think if I say that it won't happen, it will happen. So I will say that. So I say that the Bengals win this game 34-28.
Wow. Okay.
Heard it here. Negative.